Yes! On top!
Ranky! Assemble this team!
Maybe I should get back to battling. Oh, one more video couldn't hurt, right?
Subscribe. Subscribe.
Clash Royale.
Maybe I should get back to battling. Oh, one more video couldn't hurt, right?
Subscribe. Subscribe.
すごいですね。
直接拔掉了，拿下国卡。想到这个游侠的位置很完美，还有吗？
まずはタロンが一本選手。
KSU were able to come back from great response.
파브가 결승에 진출합니다.
와, 球一砸带走。
打给罗이거 역전. 아하.
总杯5冠王 Welcome everyone to Clash Royale League special season on that east side. My name is Simon, with me is G-Clef. We've had day one of the playoffs. We're getting into the losers bracket today. G-Clef,
Yes.
what are you expecting to see today?
Well, today, it's a lot of what happened yesterday. Most of the ball breaker, Hog Rider Graveyard, those, if you just include three of those win condition various types, those are about half of the games that were played yesterday. So we didn't really move away from the Graveyard, but in a different version with the Cage and a lot more with the Mega Minion Dark Prince. But today it is the losers bracket instead of the winners bracket. So the losers today, we're going to have the first two teams being eliminated from the playoffs. So it's going to be a more of a challenging day compared to yesterday.
Yeah, everything is on the line for these teams. These teams want to obviously progress to that final day where they will have a chance to win, I believe, $40,000 US.
Yes.
That is what these teams are playing for. Not only that, though, the glory of being
Honor.
Clash Royale League
Special season
East's-
champion.
It's up there with some of the greatest accomplishments, like finishing a whole plate of pancakes that's
And
6 feet high.
And you know what? If you're the triple TPD player for the team, which may stick or may never come back in the following season, you'll be saying, okay, I'm the one and only champion. The one and only champion in Clash Royale League history to be a TPD winner.
All right, so as you saw yesterday's games, WEDGM did beat out Valve Gaming 3-2 in a very close match.
Yes.
Valve Gaming took those first two sets, and then WEDGM decided they had enough and then won the 1v1s. And then TTG lost to Kicks 3-2. Both games going all the way. And
Really
that Kicks game was nuts.
Yeah, didn't really have too many. Maybe I think in total just two outs, and everything else actually went to game 3. So lots of close games, lots of some mirror matchups too, and some counter matchups here and there, and awfully a lot of golems yesterday. I've actually counted all the games that were played. Golem actually a total of 5 games.
Golem's back,
Yeah, not
baby.
except for triple draft. Mostly from the Chinese team only.
Yeah.
And it was exactly the same with the Cage, with the Night Witch, and Bay Dragon with the Tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that, like, this early in the meta, there's definitely a divide. Like, China's meta seems much different from the other teams that we have seen so far, and we're going to see if that continues, as we will have the final Chinese team, which is Nova, playing first today up against Talon. Nova not had the best season, not had the season we all anticipated, to say the least.
It's not like the previous season where they sort of suffered for the first few weeks and then climbed back up to go against WEDGM. That was what happened last year. This season, week 1, when Magic Archer was up there, okay. But starting from week 2 with the new patch, they started to go down a step by step at a time, and then they're in the losers bracket now.
Yeah, on the other side, we have Talon 3-4 with an 86% King of the Hill rate. That is, I believe, the highest King of the Hill rate, win rate that we have. But their issue always comes down to that last 1v1 set. And 1v1 is now considerably more important than King of the Hill and Triple Draft, because you need to win at least one of those 1v1 sets.
Yes, and again in the playoff until the finals, best of 5, guys. So 3 1v1s and LCOP as highlighted. The Magic Archer is back, and he is the player who would actually use it. So let's see if those Magic Archers with the Wall Breakers or even Royal Hogs are going to be used by LCOP today.
Yeah, look at those win stats. KK up there with 78.6%. Talon's Blizzard, 72.7. Then Kicks, Isolo, 71.4. 66.7 for Expo Master. And then Ponos' Mikey Jones down there, 66.7. Those are not really the players I was anticipating at top of the King of the Hill. I was expecting a couple of Chinese teams to have a player or two in there. Not a single one. These are all Asian teams. These are the old CRL Asia players. That is.
Yes. Expected to see a lot more players in there, but let's break it down. Let's break that King of the Hill record down. As you can see, compared to yesterday, we actually have a lot more players because they did have lots of games being played through the roster. But Gerald, of course, having lower number because he came in the middle of the season.
Yep. And we see on the Nova side, Elsie up at 25%, Lil Chen at 44. The only player with a positive win rate is Nova Beaking, and Aurora is still an enigma to us all.
So, do
She
you
hasn't
think?
come out yet.
Yeah. So basically, a three-man roster for Nova. Do you think that puts a lot more pressure when it comes down to best of 5, and a lot easier for the opponent to read your roster?
I think, yeah, but they're not a three-man roster. They do have Aurora. She is capable of coming out.
Yes,
It's
but
not
she-
impossible for her to
Yeah, but-
make an appearance today.
Yeah, as a coach from the other team, though, you would basically not expect to have her out.
And that's why you throw her in.
Okay.
You're not going to have prepared against her. Look at that, 30 games played by Line. Double
Yes,
that
a
of
lot of
Elsie up.
games.
Jeez. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of data for Elsie up to have to go through. He probably knows Line better than anyone else in the world. Probably knows it better than his own reflection in the mirror.
Might actually be true. Line had a lot of games because he was also playing a lot of King of the Hill. Not only that, when needed, triple draft, and also 1v1. So he was always playing those games. In Talent, they actually had lots of 3-set matches because they usually just went down with that 1v1 at the last time. So we'll see how this matchup goes.
Yeah, the last time these two players met, the last time that Line and Elsiop faced each other, Line was the victor. And that was back in week 1. Will he be able to do it again? We'll see the minor wall breakers straight out the gate and a Mega Knight from Elsiop.
Yeah, it seems like very likely from Elsiab also having that wall breaker minor. Let's see if it's with the it's with the bandits, so likely with the musketeer goblins. Set up the mini P.E.K.K.A here.
Mega Knight gets the jump in the middle. There's the wall breakers. Good pull with those wall breakers there from Line. Almost completely nullifying that. Mega Knight does manage to get the jump damage in.
Yeah. It seems like Line has that bomb tower, or either the Inferno tower is also possible that we have seen from Jack yesterday from Fob, but more likely for that bomb tower to be the last card.
If it is Inferno Tower, would you give more of an advantage to Line over Elsia because he has something easier to deal with, that Mega Knight?
Against the Mega Knight, but I think bomb tower is also fine as long as you can get that drag into the explosion damage.
Well, out of these first engagements, Elsiop does have the upper hand. He's making it work. He's getting the damage through. Those miners are going uncontested. Down on that left-hand side, 1698 remains down there. Well, he's only done about 500 damage himself. Will these wall breakers get the connection? The answer is no.
Yeah, it depends on how Elsiop connects. He does have the zap to really power up those dashes from the bandit. I think those will be the key.
Ooh, I don't know how I felt about that pull right there. Did manage to mitigate all the damage, but what's the elixir cost worth it there? Could he have done something else? Pulled it the other way? Who knows? Wallbreaker does get one connection, taking out those bats, and that now gives Line the lead.
Yeah, which Elsiop is certainly not too happy. And Line's got to save up that knight really well. If he lets that go in any kind of mistake or only into the other side, the Mega Knight's going to sleep. The bandit is also going to slip.
Yeah, without a Mega Knight of his own, Line is doing incredibly well. He is managing to shut down everything here with logs, with this bomb tower, with the spear goblins pulling things around, finishing off. So it is going well for Line, but he has to maintain this defense, and it is a difficult defense to keep going.
Yeah, but zapped by Elsiop to keep that damage from on the bottom left tower. Possibly wanted to get the dash, but not going to happen this time.
Musketeer did get one shot on that bottom right-hand tower. There's the bomb tower again to catch these wall breakers. No wall breaker connection this time from Line, and Elsiop has taken the damage advantage, only by about 14 though, so nothing major, nothing to write home about. But that miner, again from line, just coming in under the radar, 602 on that tower now. Line has this in his sights. Will he be able to finish it off? We'll find out when the Mega Knight drops into those breakers.
Yeah, last turn, the LCM actually saved that Mega Knight, so the bomb tower got to come back later with the Knight position all the way to the right.
The bomb tower actually connects onto the miner. The bats and the goblins are going to close that down. This Mega Knight is pretty healthy, does get hit by that death damage.
Yeah, in the meantime, the top right miner actually did a lot of damage. Bandit came a little bit late. There's a dash with the miner on the bottom.
Yeah, this...
Okay.
Okay, is it going to be enough? 330 against 210. Neither player has a big spell. So it is down to these miners. It's down to the wall breakers to get this done. And that miner from line shut down. The log comes in.
Good use of those goblins to defend the miner against perfectly.
Doesn't catch the
placement
miner.
all the way in the back. There's a zap from Elsia, but right before that, great counter push with that his own miner all the way in the back from line. It was about the speed, the placement.
That cycle, the log zap again to finish it off. Line takes it. It looked as though Elsiop had it. His miner was going to town on that tower. And it just wasn't enough. Line just managed to cycle back to the cards he needed to finish that one up. That was a very, very close game. And that means Line now has 2 games over Elsiop. And Elsiop's win rate slips one more time, 2-7 in King of the Hill.
Love these placements of the Knight. It wasn't perfect all the time, but mostly was to get the drag into the bomb tower or to stop those bandit dashes into the tower, and that was just enough.
Yeah, the miners from Line were just beautiful. They just did so much work.
Yeah, the cycle is super quick. It's usually 2.8, 2.9, 2.8 with the bomb tower there. And you can just, it's even lower without the poison. So you can literally go straight back and forth. Knight comes back within 3-4 seconds.
Oh, the miner did break free on that top. I thought it was caught. Must have been the miner just before that. So the miner from Line did finish it out. Throwing down that log and zap as well, just to see if there was any need for it. Needed it all. Line takes game 1 of this King of the Hill. Talon up 1. Elsiop, the former point man on Nova, slipping down again here. A lot of questions have to be asked about Elsiop this season.
Yeah.
He has not been performing particularly.
Yeah, I'm sure he felt confident using those wall breakers. It's one hit, and with the Mega Knight, even if you're going against the mirror match, if you can grab that wall breaker, even once you lose a turn, you have to have the bats or minions, the musketeer to take care of those, or your spell, plus that Mega Knight when you need it, when you have that extra elixir to save up in the double elixir time. So I'm pretty sure he thought, okay, I have my Mega Knight. There's no Inferno. The cycle from the opponent is pretty quick, pretty cheap, but still the wall breaker, plus my miner, and I have the zap to keep a few more damage in, at least from the miner, or maybe even the wall breaker chance. I'm pretty sure he felt confident about that semi-mirror match, but
No dice.
not today.
It's hard to say where his issues are, because he is playing mechanically sound. He's not really letting anything go that he shouldn't. Maybe he should have had something to catch that miner at the end, because it would have been his game if that miner was caught, but he didn't have anything there. He didn't have anything down.
He hit the goblins, but I think it came just a little too late. And like the placement of those small bats from line 2 to get those zaps out from LCA without taking a hit onto his own miner. So those little small chip damage that went in or didn't go in to tower actually became a big change at the end.
Yeah, well, it is going to be Line versus B-King. And the last time these two met in King of the Hill, B-King did take the game and closed it out for Nova, because that time, Elsiop did beat Blizzard. He did beat One Crown, then lost to Line, and Line lost to B-King. And that one was Graveyard, Mega Knight Wallbreakers, which is back in the meta, against Graveyard with the, well, basic standard Knight, Baby Dragon, that one. So will we see that matchup again? I don't think so. I don't think Line is a player to bring that Graveyard out this time round, but maybe he wants to make a statement.
Or Fuma Balloon, I think Talon was one of the team that actually did like to play Balloon even before the patch. And I think they can continue with the Ice Golem. Not the Lumberjack version, the Balloon Miner was the key to go.
Well, we're about to get into this one. Nova have lent on B-King so many times this season in King of the Hill. He has a whopping 62% win rate. Will he be able to improve that against Line? We'll find out real soon. Miner caught out by that mini P.E.K.K.A. The Goblin Cage down from Line. What are you feeling with this deck so far? We're looking at mini P.E.K.K.A. and Dart Prince from B-King. What is he bringing?
Let's see if it's just an oldie with the mini.
Oldie with a mini. It is Lava Hound from Line. That's a card that's kind of falling out of favor nearly everywhere in the Night Witch.
Yeah, we had
from
one.
B-King.
I think we had one lava yesterday, and that was it.
Ooh, so it might be the Night Witch Giant Graveyard deck here from B-King. We do have the Barb, so it is going to be the Barb Lava Hound deck with the Goblin Cage.
Yeah, with arrows,
instead
I
of the
think.
Goblin Hut.
Yeah, with arrows, I think it seals to be the Graveyard. But look at the amount of units. The Snowball's going to help just a little bit. Okay, B-King's trying to secure minimum damage.
But that Miner is just going to town. 1392 remain. As I was saying, Lava Hound has a 7% use rate, but a 56% win rate in Grand Challenges right now. So, Line bringing out the Lava Hound. It's going to be difficult to defend the Graveyard if the Barbarians are out of cycle.
Similar to what we had from Jack yesterday with the Lava Miner, but a little bit heavier with the Barbarians, which is still good against the Giant and also the mini P.E.K.K.A. Problem comes when is a Graveyard coming down.
Yeah, the Barbarians this time shut all of that down. All that elixir from that push from B-King is just evaporated. So Line decides, you know what, I'm going to load up with that Lava Hound down the side. Now what is he going to do to defend? There is the Goblin Cage, that's step one. The flying machines connecting with those skeletons, so that's step two. But now,
even the Musketeer.
This is going to be a lot of damage. That Musketeer is very, very healthy. 7-11 left on that tower.
The counter-attack on the right, Barbarians are taking care of that. That's not a big problem. There was no Graveyard at all. Flying Machine on the left, getting some damage, but not so significant as what B-King did on the bottom left. Even a little more onto the bottom now.
Yeah, this tower might be done. Both towers looking like they're going to go down. 23 left, but the mini P.E.K.K.A. connects, and that is it. B-King kept his composure, held down the foot. Line looked as though he was going to take it, but B-King had his number. Line falls here, and it is one apiece.
Yeah, B-King, I think 3.9, and Line with the Barbarians a little bit higher, around 4.0 or even higher than that. And that's a matchup that we have seen many, many times during the regular season. It's a little different for both sides, but even with the Giant, if you have a push with the Graveyard, when you're lacking the tools, when you're using those Barbarians against the Giant and the mini P.E.K.K.A. instead of the Graveyard, you don't really have, you have to have the defensive Miner or defensive Cage to defend against the skeletons, and even with those, it's going to be pretty slow.
Yeah, well, it was looking good until this happened. The Dark Prince and the Night Witch. You never want to leave a Night Witch on the field like that, and then the mini P.E.K.K.A. coming down just adds insult to injury. Finishes that tower far too quickly. Line just, why would you play the Lava Hound there? I can't figure out why you wouldn't try to defend, why you would go for the Lava Hound in the middle, thinking that you could take it. The Lava Hound's not going to make it to the tower in time.
Jack actually had the same matchup, but with guards. Without the Barbarians, and he did win.
So is it Lava Hound Barbarians again? But why was that Lava Hound played in the center? Anyway, we're going to get
at that moment,
it was a
it's tough
risk
because
play.
even against Mini P.E.K.K.A, against that Mini P.E.K.K.A and the Giant, he was running out of tools to go against anti-ground. He was just focused on the air. Flying Machine was surviving for somewhat of a time to get the Elixir trade, but eventually the bats came down and the remaining spells. Air was actually doing quite a lot of damage. It doesn't take it down, but still, if it's somewhat damaged, it will take it down from that air. And once that Flying Machine is gone, yeah, the graveyard time.
Yep, well, it is going to be Gerald against B-King. Now, Gerald wasn't around in this team the last time Nova and Talon battled it out, so we have no stats there. Do you think that Gerald is going to be playing that deck he's been playing on ladder, which is the Royal Giant Goblin Cage, and what was the other card in there? I can't remember.
Is it
Fisherman? Fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be the Fisherman deck that he has been playing on ladder?
If it's Fisherman, in this specific matchup at meta where there are lots of quick cycles, even with the wall breakers, it can be tough. It will be tough because you're throwing out that Fisherman to grab some heavy bodies to mess up that timing usually, or even the riders to stop them going directly to the buildings. But there will be small skeletons, goblins, spear goblins everywhere around the field.
Well, we'll see what happens. It is going to be Gerald in blue for Talon
Zone
against
Hog.
Nova B-King. And it looks like B-King might be bringing the same deck, throwing out that Night Witch to try and defend the Hog Rider, but does eat 3 hits.
Can still be a golem deck that we have seen many times yesterday. Let's see if it's Hog with the Valkyrie or the Heal Spirit.
I'm going to say maybe... Yeah, I think it might be the Heal Spirit. With the Knight, I'm not so sure. Okay, so the Knight is going to take on that Dark Prince, and another Hog Rider, this time loaded down the left, avoiding the Musketeer, but the Mini P.E.K.K.A is there to shut it down. But one hit, again, does get through for Gerald's Hog Rider, and there is the Royal Delivery, a card that was so prevalent in yesterday's matches. Will it have the same use rate today?
Yeah. Not all, but yeah, most of the Hog Rider decks right now has a 3-spell with Delivery, EQ, and the Log together.
Well, we'll see if that trend continues or if Gerald is going to be bringing something a little bit different. There is the Bomb Tower. So no graveyard this time from B-King, holding on. Probably waiting for that double elixir time so you can just blast through your cycles to, you know, control the matchup, control the game. Takes a lot of restraint when you only have that Night Witch Giant pummeling down the lane. There's a Bomb Tower. Do you want to put down the graveyard? Kinda you do.
Yeah, and the big change from yesterday, what Peas had, was actually the cage. And what we're seeing today is instead the Mini P.E.K.K.A. A great tool to stop those Hogs, stop those Barbarians.
Would that choice be down to scouting, knowing that your opponent's probably going to be playing a Hog Rider deck or a Royal Giant deck?
Yeah, Mini P.E.K.K.A. is still really good. Even after the change, still really good card to knock down a lot of things in just one hit.
Okay, well, again, everything is loaded up. This time the Hog Rider is going to get a very healthy 2, maybe even 3 hits. The graveyard comes down from B-King, which is time and time again that graveyards can just get out of control.
Delivery and Log together from Gerald.
Shut down, though. Great defense of that graveyard.
It makes it about as even. Yeah, good timing to actually trade damage for B-King. He knew that he was going to lose a couple of shots against the Hog.
Well, only bats coming across, and that Dark Prince now isn't going to get pulled into the Bomb Tower, so it is going to get that charge damage in. Good choice letting it go. Will the Mini P.E.K.K.A. completely shut down the Hog Rider? Yes, it will. That looks real far away, though.
Yeah, once it locks on, it actually gets more range for some reason. For a lot of units, it just works like that.
Its sword grows 9 times. Okay, so this time the Hog Rider may get through even with that snowball. It's going to be tight. Get 1 hit, I believe, there.
Down to 12. 1200 there. Gerald is cycling through that knight to actually defend against lots of key tools from Viking. Just waiting to have one good defensive position. Now here it comes.
Oh, that bomb tower placement shutting the gate on the Giant, meaning there is no tank for this graveyard. Beautiful defense by Gerald.
Immediately, he knew that the timing was coming. Viking was saving up that elixir.
So 918 on that top
Off to
left
the
hand
right.
tower.
And with an early Q, the slow just 1.
Yeah, the slow there allows that Hog Rider to get that hit in. Otherwise, I think the Mini P.E.K.K.A would have shut it down. So the Knight here defending with his heart. But again, no Mini P.E.K.K.A in cycle. The Snowball with the Night Witch is going to shut it down this time round, though. So the defense is slowly making its way to Viking, but can he cycle back to those defensive cards he needs against this Hog Rider quick enough? The slow from the Earthquake is going to allow 1 hit through. 450 remain, plus the damage from the EQ is proving to be a little bit too much for Viking to handle, but can this graveyard get
Here's a
it
chance.
done?
Knight plus the Spear Goblins, and an arrow misses onto the Spear Goblins. So Gerald has a big defense time right now.
Yeah, this is a big chance to repel this push. 588 against 366. Hog Rider played in the center, giving it as much room as possible. The EQ is
The
down.
Night Witch and the Snowball all the way. It's in the log damage to finish up for Gerald. The final graveyard for Viking.
He has to defend this though. Oh, tiebreaker is over. Didn't even see the time. That did not feel like a 5-minute game. Gerald takes out Viking here. Game 3 going to Talon.
Another Hog deck.
That was a masterclass on how to defend against that giant graveyard deck that the Chinese teams have been playing a lot. A lot. They played it twice, but that's a lot considering we never really saw it much.
Well, 3 times altogether, including yesterday. In a
Oh,
different,
yeah, I
in
forgot
a
there was
different
one.
version with a cage. But still, Gerald, yeah, the bomb tower placement that you pointed out in the middle, I'm pretty sure that was also the highlight. Yeah, that log, maybe he thought he put a late delivery and it takes too much travel time, and then he was just rushing it with the log together. But even with that play, he didn't really lose too much after that.
Yeah, these arrows just completely whiffed the Spear Goblins. And a Snowball whiff too. It didn't quite catch that. It did push the Knight, but whiffed those Spear Goblins. And it might have been a different game if that had gone through, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, which led a bigger wave of Spear Goblins to attack with the Hog, but it didn't really matter too much because it was usually going to be the Hog damage that actually went in.
That is incredible. 0.86 elixir leaked over a full 5-minute game. Never allowing himself up to that 10 elixir time, just managing everything perfectly.
Yeah, Gerald with the Hog deck with the Knight, you just need to constantly push.
It's going to be
And
Aurora. No, I
Well,
don't think
Little
that
Chen.
is Aurora. That is going to be Little Chen coming in the final spot here.
He's gotta be.
Or Nova, either that or, you know, Aurora's
We
changed.
can only hope. We can only hope for the day.
All right, so Gerald versus Little Chen is going to be game 4 of this King of the Hill. Will we see another attempt at giant graveyard with that
So-
Night Witch? Maybe this time with the Goblin Cage? If it was the Goblin Cage, he might have been okay in that matchup.
Yeah,
D-King
so-
B-King, sorry.
Yeah,
B-King might have
remember
been-
yesterday with TTG playing Golem? This is the same Golem Knight with Lightning, Tornado with 3 different players. Nova's trying a similar thing with that giant graveyard.
This time with the P.E.K.K.A instead of the Goblin Cage, yeah.
Yeah, with the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Yeah, so
Mini P.E.K.K.A, that's
and even in history, I don't remember this many tries of one single team having a single deck to actually go through a lot of these matchups. Is this actually becoming a pattern?
Could be.
In the playoff, I think it's very risky. And of course, I think it's coming from the practice. Maybe the coach has said, okay, from the practice, I think this deck has the best chance of actually having the counter matchup, the best matchups against all the meta decks right now. So let's go with this. That could have been the decision. From the practice, the data, and the analysis, I know they have a lot of backup staffing coach.
Yep.
That gets all the numbers and the data from all the other teams, and here's what it is. Let's practice on this one.
Well, we'll have to see. I think I found Little Chen's account. I was talking about this before. 586 games played in a week.
586.
290 of those were Balloon Minor Cycle. The others were Wallbreaker MK. I think it was this Little Chen's deck. Not 100% sure. So if we see one of those two decks, I would not be surprised. Neither probably would be the Talon team.
Takes me a month to play 500.
You need to up those numbers, buddy. That's one subway ride home.
Oh, no way. That's a
underestimate.
lot of games in a week.
You underestimate how far away I live and how many times I just let 3 crowns happen to me. Okay. So we're going to be getting into Talon versus Nova. This could be it for Nova Esports in this King of the Hill if Gerald can vanquish Little Chen, but Little Chen is not so easily moved. Can Little Chen stop the bleed of Nova here?
We'll see. In the cage with the delivery from Little Chen, your study might not come in handy this time.
No, definitely does not look like it. There's a Firecracker. That's going to clean at least the front. No, all right. I thought both Spear Goblins were going to go out at the front. The Royal Recruit does perish to the tower, just cycling that log.
Yeah, there are some RG Firecrackers, and that's usually what we see with the cage skeletons.
Yep, will he get there? Oh, almost a hit there. That Hog Rider seemed to live forever.
I think we're waiting for those RGs to go through. Played by lots of WEDGM members yesterday.
Yeah, Firecracker with the RG and the Heal Spirit. Royal Delivery just to make sure that the bridge is well protected, dealing damage to anything that is trying to swarm your Royal Giant before it crosses the bridge. So we'll see. We'll see. I think you're right. I think it is going to be Royal Giant.
Delivery time. Gerald, he knows it's coming. And can't really suddenly switch to the left because he knows it's going to be a race and there's that cage to block it a lot of times.
Heal Spirit coming through. He's going to get one hit. Again, shut down just at the last second. And there's another Royal Delivery. Do you feel like the Royal Delivery shield should be a pizza box, G-Clef? Delivering pizza every time it comes down?
Yeah, why not? And it heals too. Heals at the same time it does damage.
All right, so the Knight, it is going to be that Royal Giant from Little Chen. What is the last card here from Gerald this time round? He switched it up, we'll find out. Good luck. This time the Hog Rider does get that one hit.
Still the delivery does a good amount of damage to lock that RG. It's slow, no building.
The Brawler actually managed to get through all the way to the tower, uncontested, and gave Little Chen a very brief lead, but a lead nonetheless. The Goblin Brawler, it does deceptive amounts of damage now. One hit. Royal Delivery. It's just delivery after delivery and finding the timing to put those Hog Riders down so that it's not going to get hit by the delivery because it does the same damage. One hit. Ooh. The Earthquake damage coming through is starting to pile up. And Gerald is getting the advantage.
And one of that bat actually stopping that Firecracker to do damage from the Hog. Yeah, saving the day. There's that heal.
Tower play pretty low here, but the Royal Giant's only going to get one hit before getting shut down. Oh, it does get two. That's pretty big at this point of the game. When every little inch of damage, every pixel of damage really does matter.
Ooh, nice play by Gerald there, Gear. And getting both the Firecracker with the log and the Earthquake.
High bomb tower play this time. That's going to help clean up, but the Heal Spirit does connect onto the RG, giving it just a little bit longer than it probably should have had.
So the drag from the cage is actually making those shots, those firecracker shots, not connect to its original target. So Gerald has to really think about that every single time and then place his Spirit Goblins, which is taking damage most of the time.
Well, he seems to know, Gerald should know by now that every time that Goblin Cage is going to be played high, so maybe he could play something like the bats in that center part.
Yeah, which he did a couple of times, and then it was supposed to be going towards the bats, and then the spread was actually perfect for the firecracker for a couple of times. The heal does not reach this time.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting that Little Chen is not trying to get that EQ damage done onto that tower because it's chipping away, and the bats take it. Gerald gets a win over Beaking, gets a win over Little Chen, and Talon Esports take an early lead in this match. 3-1. LC up falling real early on to line, then Beaking managed to beat line, then Gerald defeated Beaking and Little Chen to round out his Nova trophy, his Nova prizes here.
Yeah, in terms of the spell use, really loved those spell use and the early prediction by Gerald. Yeah, grabbing those firecrackers were the key, which is oftentimes really annoying. They run away from the spell damage sometimes from their own knockback, but always grabbing that with the log if he had to, saving, and then after a couple of times, the log was actually hitting the firecracker and the tower together. So Little Chen thought, okay, let's just have the firecracker going towards the center so that at least the log doesn't do as much damage. But it was even worse after that because the cage was being hit together with that log and the brawler. So Gerald had a lot of spell answers, which was really nice to switch it up like that immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, EQ now does almost a fireball's worth. Actually, it does more than a fireball's worth of damage to the tower each time.
Yeah, 3 more, I think.
204 against 201, yeah. So EQ has become a 3 elixir, basically spell cycle onto the tower card. Because before it would do damage, but not that much. Now it's dealing insane damage and is proving time and time again to be the difference between two players.
Are you saying we need a buff on Fireball or a nerf on the Earthquake building? Not the building damage, the Princess Tower damage. Either or both?
How about we... Okay, I got an idea.
What?
How about we start a cascade of balance changes? Buff Fireball to 216. Then buff Poison from 216 to 2,500.
Then the Fireball will... No, only the building damage you mean, right?
Building damage, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
And then buff the Poison to 2,500 damage so one Poison wins the game. It'd be beautiful.
No,
Beautiful, G-Clef.
2,500 doesn't finish the game, Simon.
All right. Poison and a log. All right. So we're going to be getting into triple draft now. I'm assuming, looking at the records here, I have managed to lose my Nova sheet. There it is.
I'm actually curious about who's going to play for Nova. I think that's a big question.
Yeah, because they don't really have anyone who has good results. But Line is number 4 in the triple draft ranking. Sado at the top. Look at that, 10-3. The guy is a monster. Then Tengod, 6-2. We'll be seeing him most likely later. D-King played yesterday. Benzeradel also played yesterday. So a couple more games there. So I think it's going to be Line from Talon. And
yeah, at least one thing is that in this best of 5, you can still have your triple draft player playing that 1v1. So you don't really need to think about who's not playing that 1v1. You can literally play back-to-back.
So looking at it, you might want to put Elsie up here, right? He does have the best win rate. Maybe this would be the time to bring out Aurora.
And the reason why Nova really suffered from the regular season was because of this triple draft. They're 1v1, but they had good times and bad times, but triple draft not as much compared to their King of the Hill or even the 1v1. But in comparison, Talon, they're King of the Hill and also triple draft, they won a lot of those matches.
They did indeed. The last time these two teams played, it was Blizzard versus Little Chen.
I believe it was week 1.
Draft. Week 1, day 2, because it was on the Monday. And I wasn't here. I was replaced by our good friend Paper Thin. Look at the data though. 32 games played in total for Lion. Lion has become the cornerstone of this team. We did think early on it would be Blizzard.
Yes, everyone thought it was going to be, oh, this is totally the mode for Blizzard. He's the one with creativity. He brings out some weird decks all the time, so he's got to be the spot. He's got to be the filler here. But over the season,
yeah, he didn't get results. Blizzard
yeah, he
ended
did not
up
get the wins.
0-2 to Little Chen, 1-2 to Sado, and 1-2 to Benzer. In triple draft for Line, though, he has beaten Brad and Kent Sameshi and Solomon, only losing to D-King. Elsiop, though, Elsiop does not have... Oh, he beat Mikey Jones 2-0 and then lost to D-King 0-2.
Yeah, only 2 matches of triple draft for LCOP, but those, even the decks that he lost, there was a pretty close games, and D-King just literally had like a deck made from the triple draft.
Yeah, it was, if I remember correctly, it was basically a meta deck in the draft mode versus a hodgepodge deck for Elsiop in that game. So we'll see what happens in the draft here between Elsiop and Line. Line clearly debating on this last card. Is he going to pick E-Barbs or is he going to pick...
Well, I got a few right yesterday, like the cannon card call.
That was ridiculous. You have no idea, and you got it right.
Like we don't see the screen, guys. Like
Yeah.
I just called it out randomly, and I get it sometimes.
We see exactly what you see, ladies and gentlemen. What we see now is Nova's Elsiop up against Talon Line.
So let's see if LCF has that fireball along with it. And the first battle healer after the patch.
Yeah, she has not been very prevalent at all, and she's still pretty good. Look at that.
Yeah, passive healing. Passive healing. Passive healing. Bye.
The sound is just perfect. Okay, Musketeer is going to help finish off that Inferno. Prince coming through into a P.E.K.K.A. Okay, so what? It's going to be the win condition for both these guys.
Maybe... Seems like the Battle Ram will be really nice for Line.
Delivery from Elsiop. Now, Royal Delivery has proven to be one of the best cards so far this meta. And, I mean, picking it over Tornado is pretty much a no-brainer right now.
Yeah, I think Line's got to have some kind of speed. Everything else is way too slow, like the Battle Ram or even the Hog. Even the Wall Breaker seems okay.
Skarmy coming down from Line, and Elsiop looks in pain, does not want to be taking that trade at all.
Oh, Graveyard right after the poison, the perfect timing with Line.
Battle Healer Graveyard OP, because that Battle Healer will tank the tower for a million years.
Oh my.
Mega Knight does get the connection. That was... Line found a window and exploited it so bad. Someone call Supercell because this guy needs a ban after that exploit.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
must have seen. Yeah, he had seen that poison from the offshore, the big spell options. Was waiting for that moment. Okay, it's gotta be poison or the 2 others. Let's check it out and then throw down that graveyard.
But it came after the Mega Knight was played from Elsiop too. Like the Mega Knight was played down on the left-hand side. Line was like, all right, I'm gonna Skarmy, he's gonna poison, and then I'm gonna graveyard. It all went to plan for Line, and he took the tower in just one push. But will he be able to defend this? This is a very strong push coming in from Elsiop, especially with that poison, taking out a lot of the Skarmy here. But it's well defended, and it looks as though Line is going to be victorious. There are 15 seconds left.
Yeah, only the Flying Machine survives. Even the Battle Healer right before the Flying Machine locks onto the tower. And that's how it goes, Elsiop, after dropping the poison. A big regretting moment. Yeah, not checking out exactly what the opponent's win condition is, because the 3 options, and one of them was graveyard.
Well, if you think about it, if he held off
Poison and took...
No, not the poison. If he played off... If he didn't play the Mega Knight in the back there, and the Skarmy comes down, he could have played the Mega Knight. But this window here is just downright dirty.
What?
All went to plan.
I guess he doesn't have the delivery. And
No,
delivery
it wasn't in cycle.
Yeah, after the flying machine. That's why the delivery was never brought down.
Just he found his moment and he made it count. Line takes game 1.
Yeah, LCUP had to have a big push along with that Inferno Dragon and flying machine. Even if the Mega Knight doesn't survive, the Prince was supposed to be the pushing force through that P.E.K.K.A. with the charge and the flying machine connecting to the tower, and those were the actual damage into the tower on his own. One graveyard, the battle healer.
One graveyard is all it ever takes. It's ridiculous. That was just so exploitive. It's like, okay, all right, you played the Mega Knight. Now I'm gonna drop the Scar Me. Oh, look at that! You only have a poison to respond.
Oh, battle healer, here we go.
Battle healer at the bridge, graveyard in the back. Take that. Now you got nothing to defend. LOL, LOL, LOL. And
only a flying
Line runs
machine,
with the W.
flying machine, and lots of single target damage only.
Yeah.
Those other cards were, and those were not even back in his hand, like Prince, flying machine, Inferno Dragon.
I mean, what's the Prince gonna do against that? Nothing. It's just gonna die.
No, take damage.
Take damage, but it will
steal the damage away from the tower.
But it'll
least.
expire so quickly that it won't make a difference. I mean, the only thing he could have done is probably thrown a hell of a lot more elixir on the left and just let that right tower die. But if he did that, then he probably would have lost his king tower too. So
maybe, yeah, that's
it was
actually true.
it was a rough position for LCUP in that one. I don't think he had. I think the only thing we can say is that may have been a mistake playing the Mega Knight at the back. Playing the Mega Knight behind your King Tower, that may have been the one mistake LCUP made, and that's all it took.
Yeah, it's hard. When you try to... Yeah, the few cards that you certainly have to keep in mind from your opponent, 2 spells and the win condition. That's... Because I know I can't remember all, I just go for those 3 only. So it limits down to only 9 cards.
Yeah.
So, and which is a lot easier for the players because they remember a lot more. But when you remember a lot more and you're trying to make your own play with the cards, it's your brain just stops working sometimes.
With what LCUP drafted, do you think the win condition came early and it was a choice between Graveyard, Elixir Golem,
No, I think
and something else, but the healer came out first? So the healer comes out first, or the E-Golem comes out first and then the healer? That's why you would choose Mega Knight and then assume that you would bring the Prince, the Royal Delivery. Could that have been what happened? Could he have seen Elixir Golem and the Battle Healer and been like, okay, well, he's going to play that deck. He's going to pick those cards.
Yeah, I think other than the graveyard, there might have been like a giant golem. That's why he brought the Inferno Dragon. There had to be some kind of... Maybe not the win condition. There had to be some other big bodies, not just the P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah. Well, doesn't matter now. Triple Draft is one of those modes where as soon as it finishes, you can put it out the back of your mind because you will never see the same game twice in this mode. So it is going to be Talon's line again against Nova's LCUP. Nova's LCUP not looking good game 1. Will he be able to do it in game 2? We will find out relatively soon.
And if Line wins again, that's straight up 2 sets in a row for Talon, putting them into set point.
And almost being 1 win away from eliminating Nova that many, many people out there would have assumed we're going to make it to the final on the winner's bracket side.
So that will be a shock to the world.
Yeah, it's a shock that Nova are even down here in the losers bracket, to say the least. And there's a Hog Rider. Wizard and Battle Healer played. This is mid-ladder all over.
It seems like a really good push with the Elixir Golem for LCUP now.
This is dirty from Line. This is...
Oh, arrows!
Line's cheating here. Line has bought a deck from his main deck.
I know! He brought a Hog Rider deck!
There is no way that...
And then it eats a shot from Wizard, so great counter.
Line's deck is practically a Hog Rider deck. A proper Hog Rider deck at this moment.
Not bad, yeah. Oh, nice log, and the skeletons to catch.
Yeah,
off range.
Cannon cart is out of range, and looking at LCUP, he looks frustrated with the way this game is going right now. He's not even playing those last 3 cards. He's gonna let this Hog Rider get third 1 too. So he's trying to...
Even the Firecracker getting that spread, that's nice. Second shot didn't go in too.
insult to injury here. And it is a golem from Elsiop.
He gave up on the right side. That's power down with the bandit only.
Yep, so how is Line going to handle this? Is he going to go all in down the right?
The firecracker is actually a pretty good tool. But LCF does have arrows, so that's at least a good news for him.
Yeah, so what he's going to do, Valkyrie is there to tank up the wizard shots. Poison from line 2. That's just going to wreck these backlines. That Heal Spirit isn't going to get through here. Log to push that cannon cart away, but is it in range? No, it is not.
Because it was locked onto the musketeer. It stopped moving.
It's all gone wrong for Nova's Elsie up here. It looks as though Line will be taking game 2 with basically a ladder deck in triple draft.
Such good choices. Yeah. Such good set of choices. Even the poison against the wizard and the bandit. Who would have guessed that LCL would bring wizard along with this golden push?
It's mid ladder all over this one. Valkyrie there. The log is very well played just to make sure that cannon cart gets nowhere near the tower. Now it's double muskies against... Oh, actually, there is a chance of a breakthrough here with the wizard.
Yeah, only 12 seconds left, and with that log, I think that almost cures.
Can the cannon cart connect? Oh, Valkyrie just in time. If he let that go through, it would have been over. But now it is over for Line. Line takes game 2. And Talon have match points.
What's happening?
Against Nova Esports, something nobody predicted at the beginning of this season. Nova
Am I marking my sheet right?
Nova is 1 loss away from being the first team eliminated from the Clash Royale League East special season. This is insane. This is history in the making here.
The Heal Spirit timing, you sort of know, and Line, every time you had the log and the poison, the heals were, not every single time, but most of the important timings were stopped, were blocked by those logs and poison.
And LCF just had nothing to really support that battle healer, and that firecracker just dinking onto the tower, and then still surviving because the bandit comes down. And I mean, LCF knew that tower was gone. He's like, all right, this golem push, it needs to work. But the problem is, Line's push down that right-hand side was so cheap. Yeah. That Line was back up to full elixir to defend on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Bandit, just with Bandit does about a little bit more than 1,000 damage to the tower.
I don't remember Princess coming out.
Princess did come out at right before the game ended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right before the game ended.
I thought it might have come out and then instantly logged away incidentally, but doesn't matter. Elsie up 0-2 against Line, so Line puts us onto match point for Talon, and now we're down to the bread and butter. It is 1v1, 3 sets. Talon have 3 match points.
So in what order though? That's crucial, and I don't think Nova expected to be down 0-2.
No.
By set 3. There's no way they. You do have to think about your worst case scenario for a lot of your competition, but still. And in what order do you put? And if LCF goes first, I don't think that was a good choice either. Even if he won the triple draft and lots of King of the Hill, to play that back to back first, it's mentally it cannot be a good thing for a player. I think just having B-King or Little Chen, I think
B-King would be better probably here, knowing that you haven't had the best of seasons so far. But I think they were going to assume that they were going to win that triple draft, because triple draft has been kind of the weaker point for Talon for the longest time. So
yeah, then do you put Gerald or Blizzard or Line on the spot here?
Or even
Talon?
One Crown.
Yeah, One Crown.
One Crown is still part
Almost
of this
forgot
team.
about One Crown for a second.
Everyone forgot about One Crown. Don't worry. One Crown is still in this team.
He did get one, I believe.
Okay, 1v1 standings. Little Chen is propping up that top 5. 3 and 3, 50%. Jack 4 and 4, and then everyone else. No other player in this match is in So you're going to assume it'll be Little Chen would come out probably game 4, thinking that he's going to close the game for you because you're going to win. You're going to win at least the triple draft and then the 1v1.
It's I think it depends on the style. Like Kicks, they had Ice Law in set 3.
Yeah.
Just in case they want to have the best player go up first. But for yesterday, TTG, AUK was actually in set 4 instead. So I think it depends on the team's style, where they want to put their ace 1v1 player.
But 1v1 has been the weakest part of Talon's game. You can see there.
That's right.
33%, 0%. So Line, he lost 1-2 to Nuri, 1-2 to Ice Law. Blizzard lost 0-2 to AUK. And that is Little Chen for Nova. Okay, Little Chen has it all to do, and we have seen him crack under pressure, but this guy Blizzard, he's cool, he's cold. He is Blizzard.
Yeah, and when it comes down to playoff timing, Blizzard actually pulls out a very strange deck and then comes out with a win.
He
all of
steps
a
up.
sudden.
Yeah, he stepped up. He was integral to OGN winning the last season
Yes.
of CRL Asia.
Yeah,
So-
Asia Season 2 along with TNT.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will he be able to pull it out the bag this time and give us a 3-0 for Talon versus Nova? Will Little Chen mount the comeback? We saw it yesterday. The exact same thing happened yesterday between Fav and WEDGM.
Yeah, 2-0 and reverse sweep.
Yeah, so it does happen, ladies and gentlemen. It is not over for the purple superstars that is Nova. But it's a difficult challenge. The results are not in their favor. They have lost so many games in a row.
This could be their final match of the season. Here we go.
Nova's Little Chen in red at the top and Blizzard for Talon in blue at the bottom. And it all comes down to this.
Yeah, Kate just feels like the Goblin Nut from last season. I mean, the season from the in-game, season 10.
Okay.
It's just everywhere.
It's in every
Along
deck.
with the Golem, balloons.
RG straight out
with the
gate for
firecracker.
Blizzard.
Yeah, we'll take that minor damage. Doesn't really care about that too much.
Well, that RG is very healthy right now.
Yes.
1 hit, 2.
Knight takes a long time, even with those bats.
And look at this. Blizzard has a huge elixir advantage right now. Doesn't even need to put anything down to stop that Knight. Cycling the skeletons at the back. And decides to invest for elixir for a little bit later. Log does miss one Spear Goblin. Doesn't matter though. Miner at the back is going to start chipping away though.
So when are the wall breakers coming down? Right after the cage? Then how are you going to block those Royal Giants? Blizzard will also be calculating his own time. There's activation.
Not that it's going to matter too much against RG, the Heal Spirit keeping that Goblin Brawler alive. There are the wall breakers. And don't worry, Blizzard has that cage back in.
Just take out that, look at the bottom of the screen. Take out that big RG 6 and look at all the other numbers. The cycle is incredibly fast.
Yeah, Brawler does get one massive green fist onto that tower. Lots help clean up. Oh, the Firecracker is stuck on the tower, dancing around, not sure how to find an angle onto that Miner, and Blizzard, because of that, actually
took a lot more damage.
Yeah, he took way too much damage. And Little Chen, bomb tower into bomb tower, beautiful, beautiful defense.
Yeah, because of that timing, the RG didn't really line up too well. Blizzard burned a lot of elixir for that play.
Look at that, the Firecracker actually bounces into the bomb tower range and dies. RG here, so there will be another RG available for, bomb tower for Little Chen. Heal Spirit does come down, there's the Earthquake.
The third tick.
Okay, is it gonna get one? No. Death damage does close that out. Miner at the back. Picked up by the skeletons, but Zap will finish them out, and Little Chen is now in full control. If he can stop this Royal Giant again with another bomb tower, which looks like it is going to happen. Heal Spirit down. Lil Chen tried to log that Heal Spirit away, and unfortunately, still gets that big heal onto the RG, and we are now all equal.
And even the Firecracker with the knockback to survive away from that log. Defensive log from Blizzard, away from the wall breakers, which is not doing too much work in this game.
Oh, he tried to log the Heal Spirit again, and the Heal Spirit dodges it. Little Chen, he's making it work, but he needs to take that Heal Spirit off the board earlier. The Miner, no zap this time to remove the skeleton, so the Brawler is going to get a lot of damage on that right-hand side, but it doesn't matter. It's all down to the left.
Oh, the bomb tower!
It doesn't pull! The bomb tower doesn't pull the RG, so huge damage coming through. 264 remain. Blizzard.
Yeah, one block away to the right. Oh, 265. That's with Log and Earthquake. He just has to defend against these wall breakers plus the Miner. And that's going to be game for Blizzard straight up.
It was looking so bad for Blizzard in the middle of that, but Little Chen started to crumble. Those Heal Spirits started to get the jumps and started to heal those Royal Giants, and it was all over. The logs kept missing the Heal Spirit.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to literally predict when it's coming down, and while it's in the jump animation, you can't really get it down. And it's really quick. It's immediate. When you have those bats at the bridge to get those RG, the Heal Spirit is literally just going to be spawned and jump.
Well, it was jumping onto the knight here. Boom. All those heals. Like, and that happened time and time again. So, I mean, just too much damage was sneaking through.
Yeah, but Firecracker just placing towards the center, one on the left towards the King Tower, and 2 away from the King Tower. Got rid of a lot of the Spear Goblins, took care of the Bats coming for along with the Miner combo and the Miner with the knockback. So Blizzard took minimum damage for a very good elixir trade there. Yeah, for 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and that bomb tower was just one square too far over. Doesn't pull the RG. And as we all know from ladder,
yeah, RG was already across. It already went over the bridge at that time, and he was thinking about the earthquake a little too much, I think, at that moment.
Well, doesn't matter. It's over. That was an
It's over,
game.
and Nova might be over in just a game. This is serious.
Yeah. I just don't know what to say. Nova have not had the greatest season this season.
So far, they brought 1 game.
1 game out of a possible
out of 7 games
11.
in total. Out of possible 11, yes.
If you include games that haven't been played because it ends a little bit early, 1 out of 11.
Yeah, so Nova is in a panic mode.
Yeah.
Little Chen, if he loses 1 more, they're out of the season, and Talon is going to be rewriting history here.
Something we did not see after the first week, because Talon looked at all kinds of odds and
with
ends.
Gerald and moving up to the coach role.
How?
With that change, I thought the team certainly looked better, but in comparison to all the other teams, they were still a bit lower in the standings and in terms of skills and the win rate. It was not going up as expected, but to have this kind of result, of course, the match is not over yet, but still this many games in a row against Nova. Well, with the new patch, we also thought, well, I know you agree on this. LCF is back with the Magic Archer, and with this many balloon play, okay, Nova can actually succeed big time in the playoff. That's what we thought initially. And they don't have 2 lives today. Loser go home.
Yeah. I just want to bring up Gerald. You said that, he came in and solidified the team, but he didn't have the best results when he first got in. He's 1-3 in King of the Hill before today's matches, including today. He is now 3-3.
Yeah, usually he was basically the first player to play the game in the King of the Hill. Just 1 win or just a loss to begin with, and I think it was a good decision by coach to just keep him out there in the front so that he doesn't really feel the pressure to get used to the actual professional play.
So hopefully we see a lot more of him later today because I want Little Chen to win this so we can go to a game 4
I want
and maybe
five.
a game 5.
I want 5 sets. Like, this is best of 5. And it should go to best of 5, but if it doesn't, that's
yeah.
burn.
Yeah, I mean, if Blizzard wins this, I mean, I just don't know. The problem is there hasn't really been a big point for Nova to point to and say, this is where it's gone wrong. It's gone wrong in the deck choices. It's gone wrong in the way that they're playing. It's the motivation.
Let's try to evaluate a little more after the match is over. They're not done yet.
Yeah.
So far,
it's not looking good, is it?
no. And it's also Talon just playing certainly a lot better than their regular season form. Their shape today looks a lot better compared to week 3 and 2 for sure.
Yeah, well, we will be getting into this one. Talon's Blizzard on match, game, set, and match point. Whereas Little Chen has to win here to just keep the Nova dream alive.
Okay, here comes the balloon. What we expected to begin with. And Blizzard, just the baby dragon. No snowball? Okay, no snowball.
Eats 1 hit. It's going to eat 2.
Yeah. So this is the risk that you take. With the starting end, okay, I have my win condition. Let's just throw it out. Lava.
All right, so this battle is going to be taking to the skies here. Bomb tower comes down. Lil Chen looks like he made a mistake.
Either
his
a
reaction.
big drag to the center or right in the front for the death damage.
Minor play to try and take that musketeer.
Oh, the
off
skeletons are gone. Good prediction with those arrows.
Yeah, this is all falling apart. That tower is dead.
That right after to clean those up, but still.
Okay, Minor is getting a lot of damage done. 274. So it's not over yet. That tower will eventually go down. A zap just to delay and stop that damage coming through. So Blizzard now has to move. And just playing right in that center. Not even in the pocket. Just right in that center section. Kind of adding insult to injury here.
Let's see how Little Chen goes with this. When depending on the balloon time, Blizzard might want to go 3 crown.
No, you got to play it safe. This is...
Yeah, the balloon is way too quick. There's that Inferno, but locks onto the ice first.
Yep. Is it going to actually follow the balloon? Yes, it is. So Blizzard just lets that tower go. The 2 dragons will finish that up there. Where is the Lava Hound? Is the Lava Hound going to come down again? One would assume now.
Oh, it's too late. Both the dragons are gone, and the Musketeer is in a good defense.
So Blizzard has to find that window again here if he's going to take the win.
Yeah, but if you go for that 2-crown fight, the balloon can suddenly attack when lava takes forever to go. So Blizzard might actually keep that lava for a very long time.
Good zap there, and another zap to take away the skeletons. Is going to get 1 drop. No, so close to getting that drop there. So the Brawler is going to start. Nope, I thought it was going to reach. Musketeer doing a good job at distracting.
No, too much muscles. Its reach is pretty short. And also the Miner becomes a problem, and even with the cage, death damage every single time will stack up for Little Chen.
Yeah, so Blizzard needs to get a Lava Hound push going.
Yes. This was the only chance, I think, in overtime, or else you will lose the game.
Even the Brawler here.
Let's see the connections.
The Inferno Dragon takes out the bomb tower. Is it going to get in that death damage range?
Puffs without the Miner. There's a defensive Miner from Little Chen, so it's become a whole lot of damage for Blizzard.
But Blizzard can load up again if he feels like it. That pocket Lava Hound is going to be a very strong tool for Blizzard.
Yeah, but when that comes, Balloon will actually finish the game faster, so Blizzard really needs to think through. So there was that time. Little Chen took a little too much, and a good drag with the cage immediately.
Yeah, diverting that damage into the King Tower. Will Little Chen be able to hold on? This is a lot of damage coming through. I think the Darkblades got the charge.
The Skeletons trying to defend the defensive Zap, even the arrows coming down. Still, the baby dragons are alive, and that's 3 crowns of Brawler. Finishing up the King Tower all the way in front. Blizzard does bring down Nova Esports and Talent. 3-0 victory. Nova is gone from the season.
Speechless. Absolutely speechless. Okay, that's it. Nova are gone. They get no second chances. That miner onto there. Oh, just and the arrows.
Yeah, arrows. Yeah, predicting those skeletons to come down.
It's just, you love to see it, you hate to be against it. That's for sure.
And Little Chen just said, okay, I'll just give up and have my miner go. And with this push,
Is it this brawler that deals
yeah,
that much
because the
damage
King
to
Tower
the
actually
tower?
locks onto the baby dragon, and after the miner, it does get the baby dragon.
But it's not
first.
just that. I mean, Little Chen is focused on protecting this, right?
Focusing on protecting both, and out of elixir.
I don't think he even realized that brawler was on the tower because he didn't really try to do anything to stop it. I think he was just so focused on defending.
It was either 2 crown, 3 crown. He had to defend
He had to.
everything.
But it looks as though he might have just let it slip because I don't think he was expecting the brawler to do that much damage. It's deceptive, and especially when the King Tower, as you said, is on the baby dragon.
Yeah, the miner before the brawler.
Oh. Well, Nova is out. Blizzard takes it 2-0 against Little Chen. Just to put this in, 3-1 in the King of the Hill to Talent, 2-0 in the triple draft, and then 2-0 in this 1v1. And Nova is gone.
Yes, and that's the loser's bracket. If you are down here already that's the result from the regular season. If you're down here already, if you lose one, you're gone. And that's also a paper sheet gone.
Yeah, that's my Nova notes gone. No more needing to look at that. I don't know what to say. Like, I was expecting Nova to win this. I think a lot of us were expecting
And
Nova
I wasn't
to win this.
expecting, even from the triple draft, LCUp to bring that heavy of a deck. Like, triple draft Golem, and from King of the Hill, lots of giant graveyard instead of anything else that was also available. I mean, also had RG. So compared to the quick cycles that Talon actually brought, Nova focusing on somewhat heavier version in the meta right now, which is, I would say, a lot less common in the West side.
But very indicative of China right now. Like, the Chinese teams do like these heavier style decks, the higher elixir costs. So, is it the wrong way to be going right now?
And not all the time. Like last year, there were some of these moments, but not as this much.
Yeah.
Not as this much. And when we back it was CRL China only, and we combined together with the East, then they still bring out some, I wouldn't say unique, but in a different color. They had their own style, and the deck choices were really different from the other regions.
Yeah, and we will be back relatively soon. But during this break, there will be a special message to all the mothers out there. I believe it is Mother's Day. It is Parents' Day here in Korea. So we'll be seeing that relatively soon.
Rồi con đang mẹ đang làm gì đó?
Ba mẹ đang coi tivi đó.
Dạ, có ba rồi nữa. Ba mẹ bên đi khỏe không?
Khỏe con, ba mẹ bình thường. Không khỏe luôn con.
Dạ con cũng khỏe bình thường. Điều mấy ngày nay là ngày mai là chuẩn bị đánh trận phân playoff cho nên mấy ngày nay luyện tập hơi nhiều một chút.
Và đồng đội của con luyện tập vui vẻ thoải mái chứ con.
Dạ vui trong đội khi môn cười nói luyện tập xong là trêu nhau đồ là chuyện vui vẻ.
Ba mẹ cũng chúc con với đồng đội cố gắng vượt lên để thành công tốt đẹp, nghe con.
Dạ con biết rồi, con cảm ơn mẹ.
Halo teman-teman, Perkenalkan, nama saya Ben Sridel. Dan ini ibu saya, namanya Ibu Stella Moleong. Dia sangat berarti bagi hidup saya. Sebelum saya menjadi profesional gamers, hingga sekarang saya bisa menjadi profesional gamers. Dia selalu memberikan motivasi dan semangat dalam saya menjalani karir sebagai profesional gamers. Intinya, saya sangat mengucap syukur bisa mempunyai ibu seperti ini. Dan saya janji saya tidak akan mengecewakan dia dan akan selalu terus menyayangi dia. Selamat Hari Ibu semua.
Hello, mẹ đang làm gì vậy?
Đang ngồi ở nhà.
Mẹ, bây giờ con là tuyển thủ chuyên nghiệp rồi. Con đang thi đấu cho đội Kids Team và bây giờ chuẩn bị tới playoff sắp tới là sẽ gặp một đội tuyển của Trung Quốc và con sẽ cố gắng.
Mẹ chúc con đánh thành công nha. Chúc con gặp nhiều may mắn.
Dạ, rồi cảm ơn mẹ.
Rồi chào con.
Dạ, bye bye.
안녕하세요. 이렇게 어버이날을 맞아 부모님께 인사 올리게 되었습니다.
안녕하세요. 이번에 어버이날을 맞이해서 영상 편지를 보내게 되었는데요.
아버지 어머니 잘 지내시죠?
어머니 아버지 저를 믿고 프로 생활을 하게 해주신 것에 대해 정말 감사드립니다.
지금까지 키워주셔서 감사하고 낳아주셔서 감사하고 뭐 자주 했던 말이지만 항상 응원해주셔서 감사드립니다.
저는 잘 지내고 있습니다. 네, 그러니까 제 걱정 너무 하지 마시고 지금 이 자리까지 올 수 있도록 도와주시고 몸과 마음을 건강하게 잘 키워주셔서 감사드립니다. 앞으로 부모님께 잘 효도하고 부모님의 은혜를 이웃들에게 잘 나누며 살아가겠습니다.
잘 부응하지 못하는 것 같아서 좀 항상 좀 아쉽고 더 잘하고 싶은 마음뿐이에요.
평소에는 하지 못했던 표현들을 해보려고 합니다.
앞으로도 건강하시고 행복하세요. 사랑합니다. 사랑합니다.
사랑하고 존경합니다.
부모님, 아빠, 엄마 사랑해요.
And we are back. Welcome to Clash Royale League East
Special Season.
Special Season.
Playoff Day number 2.
I
stole that away from you.
I'm going to slap you.
Yes.
So we just witnessed Nova Esports crash out of the tournament as the first team out. We will be finding out who joins them out of this tournament after this. Ponos or Team Timing will also be eliminated today. The winners. So Talon go through, and the winner of this will go through to the next round of the losers bracket.
Yeah, which is going to be another tough match. Yeah, losers from now on always. If you lose, you're gone. So either Ponos or Team Timing will be going out, and a lot more hands certainly for Ponos. I think that's in team fans' favor right now against Team Timing. But we'll see. Nova did happen. 3-0 can certainly happen. Think not just the King of the Hill, triple draft, and just losing that many in streak also affected a lot in teams, not just in atmosphere of how the players were actually playing on that set 3. And if there was set 4, I think it was going to continue in a bad way for Nova.
Maybe, yeah. Well, let's just put that out of our minds, because that's not the Nova we have come to know and love.
For such a long time.
They have been dominant, and now it's a full from grace. But let's get into this one. Ponos against Team Timing. What do you make of this one? Is Team KK going to be able to win here, or is Team Sado going to be able to win? Because those are the two superstars. Those are the two columns of these teams. They're propping up and holding their team up for as long as possible. Who is the stronger player between the two?
I think, and then let's put the top tier to the side for a second, and then think about the other roster. Okay, Nuri, Greed, and Haruki from Team Timing. And I think, Greed and Nuri did have some success. Not as much for sure compared to Sado, but in overall, I think Ponos as a roster is much stronger compared to Team Timing, of having Mikey Jones, Rad, even Ten God, and having some different styles in their tactics, in their deck choices that we're bringing during the season. So it's really harder to counter. It's harder to actually snipe onto what kind of deck they will play, what kind of player they will actually have in which order. So Team Timing already has a bigger bigger homework to do.
Yeah, and not just that, the meta is very much in favor of Japanese teams who have always been huge proponents of fast cycle decks, Hog Riders, we're talking Wall Breakers. That's the kind of style that the Japanese teams know and love. But look at this, 3 and 4 against 2 and 5, 57% in the King of the Hill, 71% for Team Timing, but when it gets down to that 1v1, both teams are incredibly equal. 71% triple draft, I should say.
Yeah.
And as I said, key players, KK, Sado.
Yeah, also meta for KK. Yeah. So keep in mind, Fab play a lot of those Wallbreaker Miner Cycle. More without the Mega Knight, and lots of Hog Rider. Not from Jack, actually from Expo Master. And some Royal Hog. So all over, but cheaper overall. No Giant, no Golem, nothing heavy at all. So I think that's going to continue for Ponos. Similar from what we had from Bob yesterday. Team Timing, do love Wallbreakers.
They
Wallbreaker Cycle and the Royal Hogs. Let's see if they continue to use it in the playoff.
Look at that, Ponos KK, King of the Hill standings, way up there. No Team Timing players? I'd have thought Sado would have been up there. I mean, he's played the most amount of games. Maybe he's played too many games to be on this list. Just find that win-loss ratio for you in the King of the Hill. Team Timing, Sado is at 57%.
Not as high. Yeah, because he did play a lot of games.
Yeah. I mean, KK has played 14. Sado has played 14. So KK, the better player slightly, one would say. But look at that. The rest of the team for King of the Hill. Very much supporting KK on Ponos, but Sado is just up there on his own. Greed and Haruki down at 0%. Nuri at 28. So looking at the stats, this is very heavily on Ponos' side, but the stats mean nothing What matters is what happens on the day. And on the day, anyone can take it.
Yeah, with the New Balance update, let's see what Ponos and Team Timing is going to bring. Haruki up first.
Against Rad.
Okay. Let's see. Let's keep in mind of these order coming out from Ponos and also Team Timing. Haruki in the favor. Yeah, did have few games in King of the Hill, but only losses. And compared to that, Rad, also not really having the best result. In King of the Hill, and does make sense from both sides to have the worst number or the player with the worst number to go up first.
Well, okay. In terms of the last time these two teams met, I believe it was an all-kill from Mikey Jones in the King of the Hill for Ponos. Ponos Mikey Jones beat Sado, beat Greed, beat Haruki. So the last time these met, Ponos took it very handily. One of the very rare 0-2s or 2-0s that we see. But anyway, Ponos Red in blue at the bottom. Team Timing's Haruki in red at the top.
Inferno Dragon emote. I just got it. I just got it last night too. Everyone should get it. It's one of the best emote right now. Cannon card push. No defense. Oh, Barbarian does come right after, so blocks it away.
Yeah, didn't have the elixir to put anything real down, so did take a few hits here.
Also, it was still not a big risk, I would say, after seeing the lava.
Yeah, this is a very exposed Lava Hound coming down. We know Lava Hound doesn't really get much damage done on its own, but with this Brawler, will it be able to get up into the tower? I mean, Haruki has a lot to deal with it.
Let's also see how many lavas we're going to see from Ponos. They do love playing this lava deck.
The healer survives after all that.
Even after the nerf. Battle Ram as expected. The Ram change.
Ram Rider.
Oh yeah, Ram Rider, excuse me.
Alright, so the cannon card is caught by the miner. Is gonna... Oh, I thought that was just in range of the tower.
Yeah,
right at the edge of the range.
Some pixels off.
Okay, so it is going to be Lava Hound Barbarians from Rad. And it is going to be Ram Rider Battle Healer.
Yeah, this is the last month style with the Magic Archer. This is more like 2 months ago from Haruki's side. And Rad just keeping the casual same because not much has been changed other than the Goblin Cage.
Yeah, this deck doesn't have exactly the greatest record in competitive, but it is a very strong deck. My tune has changed recently. Oh, the Goblin Cage didn't pull the Battle Healer. Does manage to pull the Ram Rider into the center, but the Battle Healer on the tower, I think that might be very close to tower down because the Ram Rider is going to join in and keep that Brawler very far away.
And great Fireball to get those puffs, the remaining dragons in the air from Haruki's side, and he knows that there's not enough ground defense from Rad's side. He just has to push with the lava, but that Magic Archer keeps on doing the damage. There's Fireball, E-Wiz against the pups. So many different answers against what Rad has.
Is this going to be 3 crowns? 6, 8, 3 remain.
Charge!
And a charge! 2, 4, 3. Fireball will make it, but doesn't need it. The cannon card. Haruki just 3 crowned. Throw away your stats, guys. 0% win rate player. 3 crowns.
He only played 3 games, but still to have a big 3 crown.
That's insane. Manhandled. Okay.
Something else is happening today.
Lava Hound Barbarian deck. Loses again.
Against the bridge spam.
It would have been hard, but this... Okay, I know that Rad was going for it, but...
Yeah, I think Rad was going for the ramp pull only so that it doesn't reach the heal, but it actually was just caught in range with the heal.
I mean, the Brawler had no chance of defending that because the Ram Rider just keeps it at bay. A slow, but it may as well be a root, isn't it? Like, it's
80% root, which is basically you can't move.
Yeah. So anyway, Team Timing's Haruki does manage to take 3 crowns away from Rad. Red just crumbling in this game, allowing cannon cards to connect. Battle Healer with that Ram Rider. Downright scary, but Mikey Jones is coming up next. And Mikey has all killed team timing before. Will he do it again?
Another scary player who loves to play lava. Yeah, but sort of in a different version. Yeah, it was a lot more with the flying machine, but it was in the previous month. So I think a better fit with the cage is the version that Rad has just played. But after watching the against the bridge, against even the wall breakers, actually you can get some damage on. But if you just have barbarians in cage against all those charges, dashes happening directly to your tower, what else do you do?
Nothing.
And lava's
let it
not
go
that
through.
What? How?
How would he have defended that if?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, because you only have one set of barbs, and then they disappear, and that's 5 elixir, so it's expensive to defend.
The magic archer also was locking onto barbarians sometimes. The lava, unless you're literally getting that magic archer, which you don't have the tools to. The pups are not going to be as powerful.
Yeah. But anyway, Mikey Jones coming up next. 67% win rate in King of the Hill. So he is good. However, there's a caveat to this. That 67% includes the all kill of team timing, which is 3 games. And then he beat Geralt. And then he lost the Lion and Wonga. So, okay, he has a high win rate, 67%. But the caveat is he all killed a team who weren't as cohesive at that time. Like, team timing have been like kind of together and then not together. Like they play well, but they don't really consistently show the quality that we do occasionally see from this team.
I think that's well put together for both team. Yeah. Yeah, good summary, I guess.
There's more on Ponos' side, right? Like
overall, in average.
Overall, they get it together. They get their act together a lot quicker and a lot more than team timing. But if team timing can get it together today and shut this down.
Yeah, man. What Haruki has brought, because I was thinking about Ram Rider even a few times yesterday, because we see so many Hog Riders and also the balloons. And with that slow, if you're just keeping that card, you can actually have a big counterplay right after and keep those balloons away even without the death damage at all.
So, just by the way, this includes triple draft data.
Yes.
It is 67. Okay, Mikey Jones is 67% in King of the Hill. 0% in triple draft, which evens out at 45%-ish. So look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, Mikey Jones heavier on the elixir count. So that means he really does like this Lava Hound Barbarian deck that we see all the time from many of the Japanese teams. Is he going to bring it this time after Haruki just threw that deck in the trash can?
Well, against Bridge, delivery seems to be a big key. Oh, is it just... Oh, I thought I heard the Sparky.
Yeah, that emote actually makes a Sparky sound. That's tilting.
Yeah, again, Bandit, maybe Wall Breaker, maybe just straight up Bridge again. Mikey Jones, Ice Golem.
I think he's bringing the same
balloon. Yeah, Lumberjack Balloon now with the Heal Spirit.
Yeah. It's going to be roughly the same deck from Haruki, not the same. Lumber, Loon with that heal for Raiki. So hard to say who gets the matchup here. Like Balloon can really surprise a bridge spam deck. But he does have the E-Wiz, does have the Magic Archer.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the Ram Rider is the key.
And Ram Rider as well. If he's bringing Ram Rider, this could be a slightly different variation, but with the cannon card.
Yeah, it's the same from the last game. Yep. And Raiki sure knows this. And brought it exactly against Haruki in this way.
Well, this is a very similar push that we saw last time, but this time the Battle Healer goes down early, but the Ram Rider does get the charge in. The cannon from that cannon cart does eventually fall. I thought it might have just snuck through one hit, but does not. 1673 on that tower. when is that first balloon gonna come out? It's 1 minute 15 seconds left.
Is this all a bait?
You think?
No. It has. Yeah, it has to be.
There is no building to distract, so it's going to rely very heavily on this E-Wiz for the defense.
With the rage, with the rage, it will get hit. But with faster reaction from Haruki next time, with the Magic Archer and the E-Wiz, it will not.
That E-Wiz body blocked the Battle Healer away there, pushing it into the tower. That's just going to heal all this up, and this is getting to a critical mass of just stuff on the tower. Cannon cart sitting back.
Mikey out of elixirs! Only the snowball and the bats, not enough to defend against all the troops.
Battle Healer is back. It disappeared for about 1 day, and now it's back, but this time not with the Eagle and with just a bridge spam deck. So much stuff can break through when you use this deck, so this balloon needs to get it done. The Ram Rider is there to slow it to an absolute crawl, but with the bats and the Musketeer.
Gets one more slow to the balloon, or else it was going to be connect and the tower down, but with the last snare, with great catch from Haruki there.
This deck is absolutely working for Haruki.
Was that the counter logic? Okay, he's not going to bring the same deck twice. There's no way. When we have just seen the same. And it's not the most common deck either in this in the meta right now.
It's just I don't even know what to say. This deck is just pure filth. So the Battle Healer, the general idea is Cannon Cart in the Battle Healer to keep the Cannon Cart going as long as possible. With the Ram Rider, you're basically healing up and stopping things like Balloon, because you are weak to Balloon. It's going to be difficult to deal with a Balloon properly with the E-Wiz and only the Magic Archer. You have no real big air damage. The Fireball, of course. But this is what the deck is designed for. Look how long this Cannon Cart lives. Look how long that E-Wiz is there. The Bandit gets a charge through. And I mean, just everything stayed alive so much longer than it had any right to. All that stuff should have died. That tower should have been left with about 1,000 damage. 1,000 hit points.
Yeah, the Battle Healer still can tank a lot. And when Mikey Jones doesn't have the Lumberjack and the Musketeer in defense mode, Ice Golem is not enough. Bats just not enough against this many amount of healing.
Are we going to see it again? We're going to see it for the third time? I hope so. It's a really good deck.
Right. Well, Reverse Psychology has brought the second game to Haruki, but his opponent is KK.
KK is the final boss of Ponos. The guy is an absolute monster. But Haruki, kind of crawling out of that swamp of 0% win rate, it's just bossing people.
Yeah, but Ponos had this situation many times during the regular season. KK comes, he's the Godzilla. He just stomps, and that's the end of set 1.
So just to bring this out, I just want to make sure that I double check this. He all killed WEDGM, which that's kind of difficult to do. He almost all killed Kicks. He almost all killed Fav. He finished off TT Gaming. The guy's record is just stunning. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, whichever deck loves to have the spell bait deck. He's defense and the mind games in incredible steps ahead of reading all the opponent's spells and the placements. The bar barrel even before the units come down, and then the moment they come down, the bar barrel is already at their nose. So those crazy predictions with the spells has been done a lot of times from KK. But Haruki is on a roll. Like, it seems like a bigger snowball right now. Like, sort of like the Ice Wizard dancing on the arena.
Yeah, sometimes
can't stop him.
Sometimes you just get the ball rolling in a way where you cannot stop. And even if you could, would you ever take Haruki out now? Like, if KK wins, sure, he's gone. But you would want Haruki, if you could choose after this, you want him in that 1v1. because he is playing so hot. Look at that. His win rate is now 40%.
Now.
At the beginning of today, it was 0.
It's live update, guys. It was 0-3, so it's 2-5 right now. So that's why it's 40.
No. Are you explaining basic math to me, G-Clef?
No, just in case why it changed in the middle. Just yeah, just showing that it's live updated by each game.
So what do you think KK is gonna bring here?
So that's my question. Does he just go, usually not the first game, you just go with the pretty common meta decks to begin with. He also does like to run that lava too.
If he runs the lava and Haruki brings that same deck, are we gonna see another 3 crown for Haruki? Look at this, Haruki throwing out the kissy emojis.
I already won 2 games, so that's more than my worth.
Is he gonna put something down and then put the Sparky emote on again so we think it's a Sparky? Smart play. Not this time.
Yeah, Ice Golem, no lava, I guess. He's willing to take that scratch from the Barbarians, but it's 2 hits. Oh.
Poison from KK. Is he playing?
Not with the Ice Golem usually.
Graveyard with
yeah,
Ice
it's usually
Golem
with the Knight.
Haruki going for the same deck 3 times in a row. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Musketeer. Fireball comes down just to keep that out the way. The Brawler doing what it does best and bruising things up. It is Graveyard
with the Ice Golem in this case. Go a little lighter.
Yeah, this is well dealt with though with the Ewiz and the Bandit here. Didn't even take a scratch by the look of it. Took next to no damage, and now Haruki loads up on this push. Battle Healer, and there's the Barbarians from KK. That's gonna clean it up eventually. All 5 Barbarians make it across the bridge, but a Cannon Cart is gonna make work of some of these Barbs to get to the tower. A couple of hits in.
Yeah, you can see that KK is massively considering the ground defense with K's Ice Golem, the Mega Minion, and also the Barbarians, just in case Haruki brings the same. So keeping that cage, and also, yeah, the big troop against the Ram Rider. Even the Barbarians also always really good. And the Snowball together.
Fireball. It's only Fireball damage, I think, right now for Haruki. There's a Graveyard with the Barbarians.
Yeah, but he's fine. As long as the Fireball's out, the Barbarians can survive. And that's a chance for another Graveyard on his own.
Another Poison comes in. Well cleaned up, but it's taken quite a bit of damage. Is he in trouble here, is Haruki? It looks like he might actually be in a bit of trouble in this matchup. I think the Graveyard is just a little bit too quick from KK for Haruki to deal with, but we're gonna have to find out if he can.
I don't think it's still too late for Haruki when he sees an opening on the right side to even just randomly push with the cannon. But this seems like a bigger push, and the Musketeer is gone. Timing with the Barbarians, reading that Ram is gonna come. But that Bar Barrel.
Yeah, but the Snowball pushes that Ram Rider back into the path of the Jolly Green Brawler. Battle Healer comes out to try and defend here. Poison comes down from KK.
Even the Bandit on the back, because it's all single target. And the Mega Minion tanked a good amount of shots from the Princess Tower, so not bad.
Is he going to put anything behind this? There is the Ram Rider. There's the Barbarians again, just making it difficult to pass. Good Fireball, but the Snowball from KK means that Ram Rider doesn't even get close.
So this time the Musketeer survived instead of the Barbarians. That's what Haruki has to choose with those Fireballs.
This Graveyard, it's getting a decent amount of damage in. The Ice Golem gets to the tower.
And not just that, Poison gets a whole lot of value. Magic Archer and the Ewiz.
It looks like the reign of Haruki might be over here. The Barbarians come down again to shut that Cannon Cart down. Haruki probably will leave those Barbarians on the right and try one more time down this left-hand side, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, ready with the cage. He was expecting that Musketeer. That's why the Fireball was thrown all the way, but comes KK reading it like a master. Wasn't usually used for the Barbarians on the right. Now, Haruki finally caught with the same deck playing 3 times.
Yeah. So letting the barbs go at the end, yes, they took the tower, but he was going to lose the tower anyway, so he may as well try to just get that tower down quicker than his opponent. But he just wasn't able this time round to connect pretty much anything. The barbarians come down, they shut it down. I'm really interested to see what the average the elixir cycle is for this deck.
Barbarians are such a good tool against the Ram Rider, against the Hog Rider. A lot of those tools that's trying to just budge in through the barbarians, and it delays a good time. And usually it doesn't get a hit.
Yeah, I think Haruki there was expecting the Goblin Cage to be played a bit lower down, but
yeah, or the Musketeer, but it was already over.
3.6 minus the Graveyard. It's still a pretty heavy deck. The Barbs are the heaviest thing with the Graveyard, 5/5. I was expecting that to be a bit closer, but KK is just an absolute monster right now. Who do you bring out next? It's got to be Sado, right?
Nuri or Sado or Greed.
It is Sado. It is Sado. Okay, Sado against KK. These two have not faced before this season because Mikey Jones all killed last time round, so they didn't meet. I'm excited to see how this one's going to go because this is the 2 superstars of these teams. Ponos is KK, Team Timing, Sado. They're going to go at it. Are we going to see another Graveyard deck from KK? Is he feeling that kind of deck today?
Oh, that's another version, and still to the regular version, you can still play the old version with the tornado, with the Ice Tornado and the Knight, which we have seen I think just once yesterday, and the new version with the Cage, that's still out there. Cage and the Dark Prince, that's a lot more common to be used right now.
Probably, do you think he would be taking decks from Jack? So maybe the Minor Wall Breakers, the Loon Cycle, the Hog Rider Cycle? Because we know that the Japanese teams, even though they're in this competition against each other, they do scrim a lot.
Yeah, and in comparison, I think RG is also not that bad against this Quick Cycle. These Quick Cycle and potential Balloon. And
has KK played Royal Giant before?
Last year, yes. This
I
year,
don't think he's played it this season.
He's played Golem a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, but
he played that Golem deck
RG.
that looks like the E-Golem, but walks like a Golem. It's an interesting deck. Okay, so these 2 players, KK and Sado, both have rescued their team time and time again. Can KK rescue his, or will Sado close out the King of the Hill? We'll find out very, very soon. Sado sits right in the middle of the elixir cost, 3.5 to 4. KK has pushed that heavier side at 4.1, but that is with Golem decks and Lava Hound decks. So we'll see what this one has to bring. Kinda looking forward to going home and trying that Bandit round deck. It's a nice deck.
Haruki's deck? Yes. Rambers with the Magic Archer.
Is Sado going to be bringing the same deck here? Starting out with the Bar Barrel.
With
this
the
time
EQ?
with the EQ, no.
Let's see if it's just regular Hog Push.
It's looking like it with that Valkyrie. Expect to see a Hog Rider from Sado and from KK.
Yeah, Hog Rider not really the most common with the Bar Barrel. Let's just check a little more. Yeah, Goblin Giant Sparky.
Choosing the Inferno. We assume it's going to be Goblin Giant, but KK has surprised us many times before. Could he put a Golem in front of it? It's KK. He can do whatever he likes. Lightning comes down, so nothing in front of the Sparky. The E was played right at the back. Skeletons to eat that, and that Sparky is shut down. And KK's probably like, well, it's been fun knowing you, Sparky. There's the Hog Rider. He was of his own. Okay. Just the one hit from the...
Yeah, and
Hook.
EQ Bar Barrel, so not expecting a zap here, or even with the Valkyrie, can change up even sometimes with delivery, without delivery. And against Sparky with delivery, he has another tool to defend.
I expect the lightning to come down onto that Inferno Tower. Expect the skeletons, maybe just a repeat. I don't know if he's going to put something in front of this one. Is letting it go.
Yeah, he had full elixir.
Yeah, he's putting the Dark Prince in front of it. Is he not running Goblin Giant, maybe?
He knew that. Well, he knew that he was coming down the bridge.
There it is. Okay, he is playing the Goblin Giant.
And Hog immediately on the right from Sado. From scratch, and the cage is ready.
Still going to get 1 or 2 hits in here.
Just one.
Brawler hits so hard.
Yeah,
it's so deceptively hard, too. Okay, Inferno Tower is going to deal with that. Lightning has to come down. It does catch the Valkyrie as well. That Valkyrie now is very hurt. Ewiz right in front of the Sparky. Good snowball to push that Mega Minion away. That's going to get dealt with.
Yeah, to keep that Ewiz alive against the Sparky, so the Mega Minion was pushed by the snowball. Good play by Sado there. So extra bodies for this Hog Rider, but still, just one.
Yeah, but the Brawler does go down. Now Sado's played the Ewiz in the center. Is it time for KK to bust out this Sparky and try to get something done?
Got his own.
It's now
for that Mega Minion, and the Dark Prince push can happen.
Yeah, but Sado can always cycle back to that Ewiz. It's no big deal for him to do so.
Yeah, I think KK wants a perfect lightning on that Ewiz.
Oh.
That's why Sado's always placing that Ewiz away from that Inferno.
So I don't know if you saw that, the Sparky actually pushed itself out of the Inferno Tower range, which I think is what Sado was hoping for, just to try and get a little bit of a better defense here. It's down to this one hero, Valkyrie. The Ewiz is used again. There's the Hog Rider. Will the Ewiz...
Oh, snowball.
Does cancel.
Oh, that's slow! From the Earthquake, took one more hit from the Hog.
Took way too much damage. Beautiful manipulation of everything there by Sado. The lightning comes down only on the Inferno Tower, though.
Yeah, was expecting some other units to be right next to it. It didn't even hit the tower, right?
No, it didn't even catch the tower. It was still all out there on its own. And Sado just needs to cycle these EQs. Maybe once, I think EQ and Snowball will finish this off. There's a lightning. There's still stuff here defending, and that is it. Snowball and the EQ is enough. Sado closes it out in the King of the Hill for team timing.
Hog EQ again, making it work. And the Goblin Giant Sparky, we've seen a couple of times, not too many times, not as much.
Not in this new meta.
Oh yeah, we saw it twice yesterday. One from Donnie, one from Islaw.
Oh, but it's not exactly the most popular.
Yeah, it's not too popular because it's sort of slow, and this is usually what happens. And the cage was a very big, good tool before that double elixir time. But oftentimes when Sado, when he was keeping that Ewiz alive with extra spells.
I think this is the one where
with the Earthquake slow.
Yeah, the Earthquake slow.
What is it?
Feel like
the Ewiz?
I think the Ewiz might have been a mistake.
No.
If the Valkyrie was closer.
What do you mean? I think it delayed the Hog Rider, so it could have been another hit, but it stopped it from happening. The changing target doesn't matter for the Sparky because it wasn't charged up. It was already being slowed with the attack speed from the Earthquake. Yeah,
I think that's what it is, because in my mind I was like, I should have popped already. That should have popped, but then the Earthquake, the slow from the Earthquake. It's funny how before the balance change came in, people were assuming that Earthquake was gone. Maybe they'd nerfed it out of existence. There was a few rumblings.
Only before the actual update. Only after seeing the numbers.
When you look at it, everyone was like, "No, Earthquake it's not good
No,
anymore.
it's
It's stronger. I'm gonna put it out there. I think it's stronger than it's ever been. The amount of damage it does to a princess
tower. Yes, that's the key.
Insane.
That's the key, and lots of other buildings are gone, like the furnace, the goblin hut, barbarian hut. We don't really see that too many times. The goblin hut is basically gone. Barbarian hut sometimes, but certainly not as much either. Basically, it's a cage, and cage, yeah, it's gone in 15 seconds.
But I mean, for people who use the cage, they don't actually want the cage out that much anyway.
Yeah, they usually just
depends
want
on the
to time-
situation.
yeah. Also, you do want to time it with the brawler to make big attack once.
Because sometimes you use it to stall.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you use it as an investment.
Drag. Uh-huh.
Sometimes you use it to drag. So there is the odd occasion where you're like, I need this to pop instantly because
you
I
need the
need it
brawler.
to defend. I need the brawler. I don't need the box, man. Okay, triple draft. Look at that. Sado at the top, and then number 2 is Tengod. Are we going to see?
I think that's the best. Yeah,
triple draft?
that has to be the matchup. Right now's no time to change at all. You lose here, then the 1v1, it's all stacks up. Oh, Yakitori.
Yakitori with that magic 100% win rate,
Yes.
undefeated. Yakitori actually just beat Solomon 2-0.
Yeah, I remember. And Solomon had like close to no win condition. It was both super defensive decks.
Yeah,
if
if I remember correctly, he
I remember
basically
those.
drafted only the cards on the left-hand side of the screen.
That's
it was a rough triple
that's
draft.
what I do when I'm about to fall asleep.
All right,
Let's
so
see.
it is going to be Tengod and team timing. It has to be Sado. Don't deny us this.
S-A-D-O.
It is. Okay. Team timing and Ponos not denying us a chance to see the 2 best triple drafters go at it here. Just the games played, the sheer number of games played. Triple draft, I have once again lost team timing sheet. Okay, there it is. Sado has beaten Expo Master. He has beaten Blizzard. He has beaten Little Chen. He has beaten Solomon, and he has beaten Benza Riddell. You know what I didn't say there? Sado has never really lost a best of 3 in triple draft. That's just nuts. Tengod, however, has beaten Jack 2-1, Ice Law 2-1, and Greed 2-0.
Not as much, but yep.
Sheer number of games, though. Sado has this just tied down. 100% win rate after 5 games of triple draft.
Yeah, 5 big sets for Sado, but also for Tengod, because Ponos, instead of keeping 1, they tried a lot of different players. They had Rad, Mikey Jones, KK, and Yakitori. Every single member trying out for that triple draft spot at least once.
Yeah, until they found out that Tengod is a triple draft god. Okay. So Ice Spirit from Sado. That is the distraction.
The cheap distraction card.
Oh, Ghost.
Which actually has a really still near 80% win rate, I believe, in triple draft. Mega Knight win condition.
Yeah, we're not just saying it is a win condition, it is considered a win condition in triple draft. For those who don't know.
Yeah, Prince is a great card for Tengod against the Royal Ghost and also the Mega Knight. Not bad.
Flying Machine. Does Sado have Firebolt? No. Executioner on
in
this
range.
One. They do both have a big and small spell.
Ooh, Goblin Giant.
There's the big spell from Sado. It is the Lightning. Bats coming down now. Those bats don't live very long against the Goblin Giant.
Yeah,
long enough.
Gone 2 at a time. So win conditions out.
Goblin Giant and Mega Knight.
And all the anti-air is out. The 2 remaining from Tengod are the spells. And a small spell from Sado plus maybe an anti-tank.
No, he's anti-tank. Oh, he's mini-tank.
Yeah, mini-tank is the Royal Ghost.
Yep.
So we're waiting for the 2 possible either tank support.
It is going to be Barbarians for Sado as the anti-tank, and that lightning value right there.
Good choice, but heavy.
With these two barbarians. Nope. I was like, oh, they're gonna get a hit. They're gonna get a hit. No, nothing. Musketeer shuts it down. Goblin Giant in the front. Prince loaded up on the other side. RG is there to meet him on the battlefield.
Okay, Goblin Giant does get a couple of hits, but not significant enough that it would actually change the game here.
Yeah, but Fly Machine does get a decent amount of damage onto that Mega Knight.
That Executioner cleaning up the rest of the body there.
Did you see that one bat? That one hero back with so many hits, and that Executioner proving its value here. 1001 on Tengod's bottom left-hand tower. Mega Knight drops in.
And the Furnace trying to delay. It's actually really good against the Barbarians too, but there's that lightning. Oh, good backstab, but turns around to the Goblins.
Yeah, I thought it was going to get another hit in. 694 on that tower. The Royal Ghost is going to shut that down just before it gets
Royal Ghost, especially against the skeletons, it never actually attacks sometimes.
Right, he's going to get the jump
here. Good charge.
What is the small spell from Sado? Is it going to be delivering?
Might be Tornado, and he might actually not have had the chance to use it. Maybe he doesn't even need to. There's that Royal Ghost reaching the tower now. Prince is there 198.
Executioner! Executioner just in the right spot at the right time. Sado takes the first game of this triple draft. That was a hard one. That was a hard one to cast. There was no real big, exciting plays. It was just consistent damage getting
Prince
done.
had to be the defensive. I guess it's okay to call it a defensive unit in this case. Against the Mega Knight and the Ghost.
Yeah, Sado used the lightning.
If it was not paired up, it was hard.
Sado's use of lightning was very aggressive, but it managed to get it done.
As the Executioner, there was no real good tool from Tenga to actually take care of that Executioner. I think that was also the key.
Depends what his big spell was.
Yeah, we never got to see that either. And the small spell from Sado. Okay, Tornado and Earthquake for that Goblin Giant.
Wow, choosing the Earthquake and then never playing it?
Yeah, Earthquake probably came down from the other choices.
Rocket, Freeze, Poison,
maybe
Fireball.
If not the Barbarian, Sado had some other type of building, like the Bomb Tower. Maybe even an Inferno, Tesla, any type of those buildings. Could have been possible. I think that those were actually the key.
Yep. Sado did it with the Executioner, who we don't really see much in the meta these days,
but
just
he
going uncontested.
So, yeah, the Executioner had to be after the Tornado. I think that was the key.
Really?
I don't think he would have picked Executioner before the Tornado.
Depends what...
Even with the Mega Knight.
I mean, it depends what was offered to him. If it is which minion horde, I'd go Executioner every time.
Oh, on the opposite side.
Oh.
Yeah, not bad.
If I had to choose between Executioner, Minion Horde, Witch, it's Executioner every time. I would not choose Witch or Minion Horde.
Yeah, but you don't really see Executioner in triple draft. Even from my personal experience,
I've seen it quite a bit.
Not that many times.
Mileage may vary when it comes to triple draft because it's a draft mode. You get a random selection of 3 cards.
That's right.
Okay, game 2 will be coming very, very shortly. This could actually put Team Timing, if Sado wins one more game, Team Timing will be on that match point and could knock Panos out of the tournament. Again, something not many of us were expecting. We're expecting Panos to make it. We were expecting Panos probably to be at the bottom of the top 4. Like, 4th position.
Yeah, I was thinking 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
By the end of the regular season, maybe 3rd even.
Now, they're staring defeat. They're staring at defeat. They're the edge of the precipice of just getting knocked out. It's been an insane day in this losers bracket. We've already lost Nova. If we lose Ponos, then I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Cry at home.
Nah, kicks are still in. I have at least that one cuddly teddy bear. But just Team Timing have really stepped up their game. Because they were really good. But the problem is they did rely very heavily on Sado. Like, super heavily. If Sado doesn't play well in a day, Team Timing generally lose.
So we'll see the second game what they have chose from that triple draft.
Ball barrel.
Distraction, Goblin Gang.
Okay.
EQ again from 10 God.
This time finally getting it down on the field. Perhaps he realized that it was actually changed. A Night Witch from Sado and the Firecracker from Tenga. Now the thing is, the Firecracker is pretty good against the Night Witch, but not... Oh, the Fireball didn't catch it!
Not just against the Night Witch. Against lots of those small goblins. Also really good. Fisherman. But almost locked onto the Firecracker instead.
I miss Fisherman in the meta. It was so much fun.
Yeah, the mind games are real. It's still real, but the Firecracker also really good, eating those jumps all the time.
Yep. Fisherman is going to get a hit in on the tower and then perish.
Yeah,
leaving a fish behind.
Yeah, the hook should actually do some damage. I think that's a good buff.
No, I think give him a million HP.
Hook, let's say it does like 50 damage.
What if we increase the tower? What if we increase the pull strength, but decrease the amount of time? I don't know. Let's just make it into a tornado with a body. Okay. So the E-Dragon is here. That's just going to slow that down, but it's still going to get a hit. 2, 3, almost 4.
Yeah, so there's that Fisherman to pull that RG. Oh, yeah, good good connection with that E-Dragon. Yeah, with the timing from 10 God.
It's pulling everything into a place where the tower isn't helping out. So it's getting extreme value from that Fisherman there. Unfortunately, doesn't convert
when he wants to pull the RG, there will be lots of small distractions like the Bomber, the Fire Spirits against him.
Bomber is just so good against everything that Sado has. It's good against the gang, it's good against the Spear Goblins,
Yeah.
it's pretty good against Night Witch.
RG, good body and not enough single target damage. Really immediately happening from Sado, so the RG doing way too much in this game yet.
Well, we know one more Earthquake will finish it here for Tengad. So Sado needs to be able to basically make this push work, but there is not enough time.
Drags the Mega Knight back to his own base.
Tengad is gonna win game 2 here. Very, very handedly, I would say. Next to no damage done.
Fisherman's hard.
It is.
It's hard to control on your own. It's hard to control from your opponent. You can literally waste more elixir because of your own play. So it's risky using it right now.
Is this the start of the comeback for Ponos? Can Tengad take game 3 and even the score at 1 apiece? Yeah, that fireball missing that Firecracker was huge.
Yep. Doesn't really happen too many times. Look at the switch from the Fisherman. It looks right, left, right.
Making sure that he's crossing the road very safely.
The Mega Knight, along with this many small troops and the Bomber taking care of the Goblin Gang away from the log, when the RG already did too much damage.
I mean, where would you put the Fisherman to try and pull the Royal Giant away from your tower? There's not many positions where you'll pull him out of range and keep it safe and make sure that it actually targets the Royal Giant.
It's hard, and even if Sado had a building, still there was an Earthquake.
Yep.
So Tengad had a solid RG Firecracker deck with the Earthquake. Even the Fire Spirit, I think, was a really good choice. Understanding now that we have seen that Sado had this many troop cards and the bomber just in case too.
I mean, to get the pull for the longest distance between the tower, you need to pull it into the center between the two towers, right? The fisherman needs to be just on the opposite side by one tile, I think. 2 tiles. So that's the maximum distance, but the problem is if you put him there, the bomber's there, so that's the next target. So you can't really pull him into the situations that give you the most breathing room.
Yeah, and the other Princess Tower can hit, but still the RG takes a long... It's going to do at least 3-4 shots, and you're going to pull it away from your own Goblin gang and Spear Goblins in defense. So lots of tools, lots of thinking process to actually do before you put that Fisherman. If you had anything like the Mini P.E.K.K.A. or the Prince, it could have been a lot better. Yeah, but with that many gang, and when Tengod has that many spread, Fire Spirits, Bomber, yeah, that's a good key. And also the Firecracker was a really good unit right there.
That Firecracker is just insane as a cheap anti-air card in this triple draft mode. It's just like...
I think Firecracker is really unique in its own way. It does some damage. It's sometimes hard to catch. But it doesn't die to a log.
But it
arrow
activates
catches
King Tower.
Yeah, and 2v2 all the time. And also 1v1. And everyone knows it by now. It's super easy to activate the King Tower. But when you have an RG, activating the King Tower doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think...
That's why the Firecracker lines up.
Do you think we'll see Firecracker having its air attack taken away?
No way. You can't do that. Then the Hog Rider decks would... No.
What if you took away its targeting to air, but the splash to air still
I think
remains?
it still has ups and downs and risky plays because it's so slow in its attack. That's the real key.
Okay, so we're soon going to be getting into Sado versus Tengod. Game 3 of set 2, which is this triple draft mode. Game 1 went to Sado. Game 2 goes to Tengod. Game 3 we'll soon find out. Sado wins this. Team timing are on match point. If Tengod wins this, he ties the score. So it's all to play for in this triple draft mode. Tengod throwing out the good luck. Sado going to throw out some BM. No, throws down the Hog Riders. The Hog Riders? The Hogs. The Royal Hogs.
The Royal Hogs with the Magic Archer. Seems to be the meta choice, but you can't really get your favorites in the triple draft. Bandit also a good, great choice in triple draft. Good against lots of charges, also good against Wizard.
It's also in one of the weakest categories, which is that tank support section. So
also,
Bandit.
Also pretty cheap to go through.
Yeah. Now the question is, what did Tengod
lost on the tower.
What did Tengod get in that tank support category? Did he get Bowler? Cannon Cart? No, he got the Night Witch. It's Skarmy coming down the opposite side. Heal Spirit will take 90% of those skeletons off the board, though.
And Golem.
Golem Night Witch from Tengod.
With the Heal Spirit. Oh, Minion Horde. Tengod. Big spell. He's holding it, so it must not be great against the Minion Horde. So it's certainly not a poison.
Yeah, I mean, Sado now... I think this got a lot harder for Sado with Golem Night Witch. When you're playing a mismatched Hog Rider deck, Royal Hogs deck.
Charge connects.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, with the Heal Spirit, this is a good lineup. With cheaper cycle to go on the back. Dark Prince, Ewiz.
It's going to be Rocket, probably the last card.
Or even Lightning if you had the perfect choice.
Well, we know that the Night Witch is out of hand and out of cycle, but look at the damage these Hogs are getting done. 1190. So because of the amount of damage those Hogs did and the amount of time, Tengod decides to load up the Golem on the opposite side. Now, can he defend? Log will probably come down.
The Heal Spirit, healing
does
the Golem.
Still gets the Golem.
The Golem easily handled with the Skarmy damage, not taking too much at all. Double that Prince.
I was expecting the Log to come down from Tengod. Decides to use it now to try and take that off the board. But with the Princes and the Bandits, he's going to get shut down.
Yeah, good placement though. On the side, away from the spell damage that Sado just threw. That Snowball is gone.
Now expect to see a Golem come down
Yeah,
in front of this Night Witch.
Oh, heal spirit already, just to cycle.
And that's an
that's a game trading moment for Sado.
That is an excellent choice for Sado, going Hogs and Minion Horde down the opposite side, but the Ewiz is
6
there.
seconds.
Is he going to be able to do it? The two Hogs are trying their hardest. 340.
340 to Skarmy's down, and this Golem with the death damage.
Is there enough to defend for Sado?
4 elixirs. What else does he have? Fireball was just used, and that's a win for Tengod. The race does not win him the game with the Royal Hogs and the Mega Minions.
That race was so close if it wasn't for that Ewiz.
I know.
Oh.
One drop.
Just
was worth it. It was the moment to try it.
It all came down to that moment, and I mean, as soon as Sado, as soon as Tengod played that Golem, it was go time for Sado, and I think he knew that he couldn't really defend it and take next to no damage and still win the game. Here, this game-changing moment.
Yeah, the Spear Goblins is some damage to that Minion Horde.
Should he have just gone all in and sacrificed that tower?
Because you know you can win over the time race. You might be winning the time race if you had. I think if Sado. That's a good question. If the Dark Goblin was actually onto the left, getting that Ewiz,
or taking out those Spear Goblins,
because Dark Goblin actually is super quick doing damage to the tower, and even with damaged Dark Goblin, I think it could have been enough because the Golem would have reached the tower, but not in time.
And also the Dark Goblin didn't really do that much distraction work, so I think the Dark Goblin played.
I think that could have been a Sado win if Dark Goblin just went down the bridge.
I think the Bandit needed to be used on the defense though to stop.
It was a hard call.
Because no, if that Night Witch and Bats got to the tower, that tower would have fallen before the overtime started. But because of the Bandit, it slowed it down. But the Dark Goblin didn't really slow anything down. And maybe the correct choice there would have been to let the Golem stay as a Golem and not pop it. Because the Dark Goblin popped it into the Golemites, which does the death damage on top of the other damage.
Yeah, which was stacked with the Skarmy and the Dark Goblin damage.
So maybe leaving the Golem would have been the right play there.
Are we talking too much? So, yeah, endgame decisions, it's hard.
Yeah.
At that moment when you have to put everything down, time's ticking down, less than 4 or 5 seconds.
I think not popping the Golem would have been the better play.
Which slows down the damage.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really slow it down, but it causes it not to be a double damage. Basically, it usually goes punch, explode, right?
Yeah, and he had to with the Skarmy. That was the only other good source of defense. Oh, but if he popped everything on the left, like Skarmy, Dark Goblin, everything on the left with no defense on the right.
No, he needed something to distract the Night Witch and the Bats.
Yeah, which was
the Bandit.
Yeah, Bandit. Just Bandit on the right.
And the Skarmy as well.
Everything else on the left.
The Skarmy as well did it, but I think popping the Golem and then losing the Skarmy, it happens. And I think maybe letting it
hard.
go. It's
hard
hard
moment.
to say.
Yeah, it's very hard moment for Sado. And also Tengod. I think the moment when Tengod also thought, saw that Minion Horde plus the Royal Hogs. Oh gosh, I just put down a Golem on the right. But he was super calm. Okay, Spear Goblins and then Ewiz. Great defensive mechanics there.
Okay, so down to the 1v1s. Rad 33%, Mikey Jones 33%, KK 66.7, Tengod and Yakitori not doing any 1v1s. And then on the opposite side, Nuri with 44, Sado not available. All right, and Greed 0-2, Haruki 0-0. Yeah, I don't think Rad. Yeah, Sado has not played a 1v1 set, so we've yet to see him there.
Only a lot of King of the Hills, and he still has that many crown counts with King of the Hill.
So it is going to be Yakitori coming out in set 3. And for team timing, it's going to be Sado.
Back-to-back from Triple Draft.
In theory, Sado could have completed a complete sweep in a best of 5.
Oh, that's right.
He could
with
have
the
done
help
it.
of Haruki.
Yeah. If Haruki had gone down first game, and then Sado beat Mikey Jones and KK,
which I don't think is gonna happen during the season.
No, I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. But this was the golden opportunity. This could
Against
have been it.
Against Ponos?
That would have been beautiful to see.
No, not even in my dreams, man.
All
it
right.
would have been beautiful, but let's see. Sado's up first, team timing. But the order matters, and Yakitori, if he brings Sado down, well, Ponos, they still have KK and Mikey Jones, a lot more.
So we do see the log and a barrel from Sado. Is he going to be playing that double barrel, the skeleton barrel, goblin barrel deck? Not with the bandit.
There has been some, few.
Oh, it is double barrel with the bandit. Okay.
Yeah, a few weird double barrels, or just with the goblin barrel too.
Rascals, that's a card that we have not seen in a very long time.
Yeah, this was the earlier version last month of the spell bait.
Okay. What is he pairing this Night Witch with? The Miner and Night Witch? Musketeer, okay. Barrel used defensively for Sado just to make sure that Night Witch doesn't get many hits onto the tower.
Not the bats.
The bats. It's all in those wings. 1964 remains.
With the Night Witch, you would imagine, but anything heavier.
Could be Giant.
Yeah, Giant Miner is what I'm thinking too.
So Giant Night Witch, is that last card going to be the graveyard? Like, inspired
with
by...
the Miner.
Could it be inspired by the Chinese teams and the way they're playing Giant Night Witch with that graveyard? It's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. It's improbable. It is going to be poison. So triple spell, Giant Night Witch.
And you push. This is sort of like a different style. It's push your Giant in without the cannon card. Instead, you have your Miner in a secondary option. Sort of like what Ten got played a few weeks ago.
Giant played at the back. Sado decides opposite lane pressure. The Musketeer is going to be there to help sort that out.
Yeah, good luck with the mini P.E.K.K.A, but skeletons. Good deed.
Poison comes down now. Sado is on a very, very short timer. There are 30 seconds left. Rocket, kind of know what you want to see when there's still the Giant and the Bats and the Miner on the tower.
The Bats still zap, and there goes the tower already, and Sado.
I mean, the timer was already ticking. He was getting into one poison range anyway. Sado probably could have used that to counterattack, but he doesn't really have anything quick enough to take this tower in 3 seconds. So it is over. Yakitori taking game 1 off Sado. Is this the recovery that Ponos needed after that King of the Hill set? They won the triple draft. Can Yakitori take down and manhandle Sado here? It's looking like it. That is almost looked too easy for Yakitori.
Yeah, love the deck choice. Yeah, no Earthquake, but still the poison. It's his value, and thing was, Sado had Rascals. Yeah, Log okay, but Log was against those skeletons or the Goblin Barrels, but usually the poison was actually grabbing those Rascals along with doing the damage to the tower plus the Bomb Tower. So Sado losing a lot every time those poison came down offensively.
I mean, there was just so many I can see why you would put Rascals there. It's juicy log bait.
Yeah.
Right? But Yakitori never fell for it. Just never decided, you know what? Those Rascal girls, I'm going to log them out of existence. Just smacked them. Smacked them hard. So, yep, that's game 1. But game 2 will be coming very, very shortly between Yakitori and Sado. Will we see Sado change it up I'm going to say most likely here. I don't think Sado will play that deck again.
I think Yakitori can actually... You love that combination because even after the Night Witch is gone, even after the Giant, if it's tanking, that's great. You can attach with the bats with the Giant, even if it's not. When the Giant is over the bridge, well, there's that miner going all the way across and works along with just the bats from the Night Witch, which is also another combo. So, and against that Sado, really lacking the spell, and when he's supposed to do more damage, there's a log, the poison, so a lot of the spell baits were actually taken care of. When there are answers, a spell bait doesn't loses a lot of its power.
Yeah, it's hard when you're that spell bait player and they have literally everything to counter everything you have. Even if you throw the barrel, then another barrel, then the Rascal's down. And
unless they mess up the timing real bad, then...
Well, that's what it is. You got to pressure and try to find a window and redo it, but just couldn't get it going. Game 2 will be upon us shortly. Similar...
Sado, I think he will just go back to his Hog EQ. I think that was also solid.
Oh, he played it well as well. So, yeah, I think Hog EQ would be a good shot, but I think the problem is...
Would that be expected?
That would be expected.
From Yakitori's side.
We're going to find out, is Yakitori going to bring a counter to Hog EQ to counter Sado, who might be bringing Hog EQ? We'll find out once cards get played.
Then when the time ticked down yesterday, I think it was a Graveyard versus a Bridge Spam matchup, I think? Or a Royal Giant. When we actually went down to a minute mark.
We're going to have to see. Snowball. Kind of decks would you keep till double elixir with Snowball?
Lava.
Yeah.
That's the first thing when I come... Nope, never mind with the Dark Prince.
Goblin Giant Sparky.
Goblin Giant Sparky or some more Graveyard. There's also another possibility.
Could be Royal Delivery.
Oh,
look like at the timing on that.
Seems like we might have another Hog from Sado.
We'll have to see Musketeer against Musketeer, but obviously the Red Musketeer will go down with that tower influence. The Mega Minion from Sado.
And still feeling Graveyard from Yakitori even with the Snowball.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sado with Delivery might actually be the same, yeah.
It's looking like the same deck, just played in a mirror order.
Yeah, just with maybe a different, not Snowball from Sado. It'll still be the Bar Barrel or...
Yeah, it could be anything. Poison from Yakitori.
Waiting for that Graveyard timing. And Sado instead has the Bar Barrel to pair up a little better with that Graveyard.
Yeah, I can't see anything I can't see it not being Graveyard at this point. And we all know it only takes one Graveyard.
Yeah, but Snowball's actually not the best tool against what Sado has at the moment. You don't really see anything like the Goblins or cheap small cycles of Goblins, Skeletons, anything like that, or Minions.
Yeah,
so the Snowball not... Yakitori has to find the perfect timing for that Snowball.
And the Delivery coming down to stop the Dark Prince. Princess Tower is not distracted.
Yeah, and the Graveyard was just a little early.
So are we going to see Sado's Graveyard come down any second now? No. Still holding on to it very, very tightly. So these mirror matchups are always interesting to watch because it always comes down to when the player feels comfortable using it.
Defensive Poison. They both wanted to switch on the left. Yeah, the Dark Prince is gone because of those Delivery. It's going to be hard to win that bridge fight.
Sado was expecting something with that Bar Barrel. I don't think he just burned that 2 elixir there so easily.
He needs to just scratch it from the Barbarian, just get that 2 hits.
So Graveyard comes down, and now it's basically exactly the same defense that we saw from Sado.
Yeah, the Graveyard scratching a little, but not doing too much because of that Delivery. And both players have it, so it's really hard to connect your unit into the opponent's Princess Tower. So if it connects even once, Yeah, that might actually be like the game changer. Yeah, brawler connection.
And the Mega Minion raining from above. Look at that, no hits, one hit. As I say, no hits, one hit would go through.
Without the poison, not too much. There's defensive poison from Sado this time, catching the Musketeer.
Snowball comes in. I don't think it actually got the skeleton. I think Mega
Only
Minion
one.
cleaned it up.
Only one on the top left spot. Yeah, so neck and neck. It's about the offensive poison timing. And Sado has been putting out more, and that's Yakitori's poison away from the tower now.
Good defensive poison this time, knowing he doesn't really have many of the tools he needs to defend. Just lets that poison go. And the Mega Minions just trade with each other. The Musketeer cleans that up, and we keep going. Both putting down graveyards now. Well, it's exactly the same defense pretty much from both players. The one difference is that bar barrel versus snowball, so that's the only difference between these two players.
And also the offensive poison again from Yakitori. Now Sado comes, but is it too late? Only 5 seconds.
He needs 300 damage to finish it, and it is over. Yakitori takes it in a very, very cerebral mirror matchup.
Yeah, it's important to keep that Musketeer away from the tower. And when there's Bar Barrel on the other side, you are just pressured to put it all the way on the back, because the Bar Barrel is going to connect, and you're going to be wasting your Musketeer, which is a big problem when you have your own push with the Dark Prince. So Yakitori was even though he was put into more pressure, he found more openings on Sado's side to go in offensive poison on his own.
And it all came down to those poisons, pretty much. The poison tick damage just proving to be the difference. And this Naked Graveyard was very much a desperation move from Sado, but he had no other choice. It had to be that card played right then, because otherwise it would have been over. 19.6 Elixir League compared to 12.6.
Yeah, Sado waited just a little more for his own graveyard.
Could he have?
I think he was waiting for like one good opportunity, but in this graveyard mirror matchup, it's literally sometimes one early poison, one early attack with the graveyard poison just becomes a 100, 200 difference, and you win the game over time with that. And that's sort of what happened for Yakitori's win here.
Yeah, what do you think about the Snowball versus Barbarian Barrel? Would you say that Barbarian Barrel would be the more optional choice if it wasn't a mirror matchup?
Because Yakitori already had a delivery against the bridge war, so delivery was oftentimes enough, even without the bar barrel, and Snowball became the key to remove the skeletons, or even to go in offensively when he needed to against the cage.
But it was also slow down the tower and the defending units from the graveyard.
So skeletons do get some more chance to actually hit the Princess Tower.
Yeah, I think Snowball would be the better choice 9 times out of 10.
Which is actually less picked by players. A lot more bar barrel in total.
Well, bar barrel would protect you if you're against things like Goblin Barrel, Skeleton Barrel, those kind of decks, the Spellbait decks. So you assume that you'd have that, but if you're going into this mirror matchup and you think, I think my opponent's going to play this, I think the Snowball's the better option.
Yeah, it really depends. And also player preference.
Yep.
Like we saw a lot of Chinese players using that bar barrel yesterday, like Solomon, Wanga, Peas, all bar barrel with the graveyard style. Yeah, but Ice Law actually playing the Snowball version yesterday. So there are some differences. Maybe the regional thing.
West versus East. Since technically Ice Law is West because he lives in France.
Oh, he's East. he's been in CRL Asia for such a long time. Now he's an East player.
All right, so it is going to be Creed, and I believe it was KK.
Oh, KK. Yeah, so a lot of teams choosing their ace player to be on the 4th spot.
And now it is match point going over to Ponos.
Yes. So Creed. Okay. No need to talk about those numbers. His season did. Yeah, just did not go well at all.
So, Greed played 4 times in King of the Hill and lost all of them. He played twice in Triple Draft and lost those 2, and played 1v1 set and lost that. So, but Haruki was in a similar boat at the beginning, only losing his King of the Hill, and then he went on a 2-game win streak. Will that happen again here for Greed against KK?
The game that I remember from Greed was the Goblin and Sparky. And the timings were really different from compared to all the other players. Guards, Lava on Greed Zone. And KK Lava Miner. Mirror matchup. But let's see what pair up KK might have brought. The Barbarians instead, which is a lot more common from Japan.
If it is the Barbarians underneath, KK is one of the only players who will consistently win with that deck. It is Inferno Dragons from both players. Miner comes in now from Greed, but is caught again.
Mars, good catch
by the guards. These mirror matchups are fascinating right now.
Yeah, Graveyard Mirror, and we have Lava Miner.
It's identical. They're both playing the same deck. This is nuts.
Yeah, unless something weird is happening, it better just be identically the same.
Baby Dragon coming from Greed. That Miner is going to get a decent amount of chip in, and when you're playing a mirror matchup where these kind of windows are very small, very few and far between, that might matter.
Yeah, has to look towards a beautiful poison chance. And KK actually just kind of wait, even though you're taking some damage to Lava. From the Baby Dragon, it doesn't really matter.
The Brawler did get a hit in there, and the Brawler hits so quick.
Like 300-ish.
Okay, so Inferno Dragons against Pups. Pups generally win, but...
Yeah, expecting Poison and Barb Barrel from both. But two small spell can change into like a snowball.
The last 2 cards are pretty much the flex cards. These are the backbone of the deck.
Yeah, Poison, yes. Final 2-cost 2 elixir spell. Let's see if that becomes a key. No Inferno this time. Well, late Inferno. He wanted to stack up even more with defense, okay? Wanted to block that Inferno. KK wanted to block with the Baby Dragon.
A zap from KK might actually be a huge turning point.
Yeah, still locks onto the Lava. Now time for it. Okay, Miner switch. This timing is actually brilliant from KK.
Yeah, KK now has 2 Inferno Dragons on the board. How are you going to stop this? Fireball coming in. Fireball again, cleaning up the Pups, but there's 2 Inferno Dragons looming over everything. It doesn't matter. It's going to get cleaned up by the Baby Dragon. Brawler doesn't get a punch through, but the advantage is slightly in KK's favor right now.
Oh, and a good catch. With that Lava, Baby Dragon's away from the tower.
Is this last card Zap from Greed? Yeah, it is. Finally unleashes that Zap onto the Inferno Dragon to get a couple more hits in. Fireballs from both players. A couple Pups actually survive, and that's going to be a pretty significant...
Oh, brings the Baby Dragon down too.
Yeah, that's pretty significant for Greed, who takes a slight edge in the mirror matchup due to those Pups that avoided the fireball from KK.
All stacked up. Zap reset from Greed.
Yep. Miner comes in, not caught this time. Fireballs traded by both players, but look at that tower. KK's bottom left-hand tower, 748. It's taken a beating. Greed didn't catch the Miner, though, so this could be equilibrium restored here. Not quite. Not quite indeed. Expect the Zap to come down from Greed in a second. No, let's it pop, actually.
Yeah, good catch with those guards against the Miner, but the key here, Greed's Fireball has been hitting the tower 3 times in a row. 30 seconds to go.
491, he has to defend here.
This is a big stack.
The fireball value would be huge, but he only gets 1.
And
he only hit 1.
Yeah, Infernos stay.
That might be it. 648, 491. This miner's going to get caught out. The zap there. 435. Fireball comes in. They're going to trade spells. Will this miner get any damage? No, it hits the Goblin Cage. And that's huge. 391. Greed getting a W on the board for the first time this season.
And it's against KK.
And it's against KK.
Mirror match. So this leaves him with lots of meanings. Exact same spell mirror match.
What was the takeaway if you agreed? I'm better mechanically than KK?
He did have better pushes and few more fireball direct hits.
Yeah, he was a
along
lot
with
better.
The dragon and the tower, because he had earlier he had a lot more elixirs to push through.
Greed's fireballs were a lot more valuable because they, as you mentioned, they hit the tower.
And not just the tower. When KK actually had more troops, Greed made those positions with his own Zat. He knows that with the delay, more units were going to be following from KK in an off position, so that his Greed's fireball can actually do more damage. So Zab was actually a good setup, I would say, not just to cancel the damage from Inferno.
Yeah, that fireball again, proving exactly that. I think there was a fireball somewhere that we missed it. It caught literally one dragon out of 3.
Yeah, I think it was right before this moment. Yeah, Greed's defensive fireball, you mean, right?
Mm-hmm. So 2, 3, 4. Good catch. If he didn't catch that miner, it could have been a very, very different story. Those couple of hits might have turned it in KK's favor. But Greed taking the victory here in an identical Lava Hound Miner mirror matchup with that Goblin Cage, Fireball, and Zap.
That I literally could not even blink for the last 5 minutes. That mirror matchup, we could not take our eyes off even for a split second.
Well, when it's a mirror matchup like this, every
placement,
it's more about
away.
It's more about your decision making and your placement than deck, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, he had the matchup. Oh, he had the matchup. Oh, he had the matchup." And there's skill in that when it comes to these kind of competitions, because you have to research your opponent and read them and find out. When it's a mirror matchup, that argument goes out, and it is purely decision making and skill. Can you control your cycle the way that you want to? Can you bring it back when you have to do an emergency? If you did that emergency, why were you in that situation?
Also, how many times can you predict perfectly against the miner with your own guards? That was also another mind game. While the air fight is happening all around the board on the left side, the miner guards. That's a separate fight on the ground. That was also great to watch. Sometimes because there were so many things in the air, we couldn't even catch all the things happening on the ground.
Yeah, when there's like 3 massive bodies, it's real hard to see what's underneath. But we're going to get into game 2. Greed can tie this up and bring us to a game 5. KK needs to win 2 in a on the row to close out the whole match. So what are we going to see? KK going back
to his KK barrel.
To the traditional log bait. Okay, Dark Goblin.
Let's see, Greed, if it's the balloon or the different graveyard version that we have seen already.
So one graveyard with the lumberjack though, that probably means it's balloon. Goblin Cage is down to distract the skeletons from the skeleton barrel there. Dark Goblin is going to 2, 3, 4. This is so fast.
Yeah, because I think a few of the skeletons were still taking shots.
Princess does close down the brawler. I think Greed there, oops, comes down. What he wanted was the brawler to be behind the ice golem and didn't quite get that.
Yeah, maybe missed the timing on his balloon too. Yeah, but you do want the rage to be paired up. We're waiting for a next opportunity.
All right, all cut out at the bridge.
Sad brawler there.
Is he going to have anything for the princess? Does drop the lumberjack in time. Is the balloon going to come in on this push? Probably not. Greed has no elixir for it.
Yeah, not yet.
Just gotta buy that time. Bide your time until you can find a window of opportunity. But against KK with this incredibly fast cycle with Princess and Dark Goblin, it's gonna be hard to find an opportunity where the balloon is gonna get maximum impact.
Yeah, but all you need is lots of those scratches for your final spell to be the finisher.
Is it gonna come down to chip damage between these two?
Okay, this I think Greed can.
Well, Greed is looking
Yeah,
at
he's
it,
thinking about it.
deciding not to pull the trigger this time round. Snowball comes in. Will there be something to grab the princess there? Yep. Barrel. Has to answer with the lumberjack because the log is not in hand.
Yes. Snowball was also used for the skeleton barrel.
Now the balloon comes in.
Oh, Princess good catch with those bats. 2 still remaining.
Tesla, but the Tesla doesn't pull the balloon, and now it's raged up. 1 hit. It's gonna get at least 2. Only 1?
Yeah, let's go. Tesla does a lot of damage to single targets, man. Still with the death damage, that was some.
It's giving him the lead, but I'm assuming Greed was expecting a lot more from that than what he got. That log is gonna get a lot of value though.
Yeah, so logs. This means Greed. Think about his next options.
Yeah, goes for the balloon bats again.
Oh, they're trading here.
Yeah, he has to let that tower go, but ooh, it's gonna be rough. 1 hit, not enough for 2. 407 with that barrel.
Oh, the princess is also on it. She doesn't have the right spells.
KK pulls it out of the bag there, taking game 2.
Yeah, Greed blew his final breath with that balloon.
He's trying to push it faster.
Yeah.
Go!
But the Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. Again, we don't really see it too much, but for the Goblin Barrel, it's actually really common. The 2 common decks with Tesla, I would say this, not just the double barrel, the single Goblin Barrel Spade, and also the Expo. That's about it.
Yeah, Greed
Some
placing the balloon all the way over to the right, trying to avoid that Tesla, which he did. But then, look at this. Just Dark Goblin. Snowball was too late. If he held on to that Snowball, he would have had something to at least defend there. I think the Snowball might have been a bit of a stretch, bit of an overextension. So KK takes it, and we're going to go down into game 3, where it's match point
for Ponos.
For Ponos.
Yes.
And set point for both players down to the last game between KK and Greed. I was assuming this was going to be a 2-0 and we'd be out the door already. Like, I had 1 foot already in my shoes.
Balloon, actually.
We haven't seen much wall breakers tonight, right?
Yeah, not as much as yesterday. And yesterday's Balloon, not as much. I believe 4 in total and 3 wins, 1 loss. But today, maybe it's because a lot more balloons are coming from Ponos, and Team Timing is expecting the balloon to come out a lot higher of a chance from the opponent. There seems to be lots of answers. Also from Team Timing, Ponos certainly ready against the balloon strategy.
If you're Greed, would you bring Haruki's deck from earlier?
Hog or not?
No, the Bandit Ram
Magic
healer,
Archer?
yeah. The healer cannon card.
I think that's Haruki's style only. Unless the entire team practiced on the specific deck, which is not the style of Team Timing.
Yeah.
They're more individual-ish, and haven't really seen, even going back to the regular season, haven't really seen the same deck played from different players. So I don't think that's going to stay. Yeah.
Hoggy Q?
Hoggy Q is solid, and right now I think every single player
has that prepared, right?
It's
one of those decks that you have to know how to play at this level. Well, we're gonna find out what's gonna go on here.
Or go back to your graveyard. That's a solid pick.
Well, it's all gonna come down to this. Bats played at the back. Snowball cycled from KK because he didn't really need to do it, and Greed cycling his own. Is it a mirror matchup again between these two?
Let's see. Ice Golem. Oh, balloon again?
Could be from Greed. It is. Balloon from Greed. Is it going to be the same from KK? The Mega Minion is there. This balloon is going to get a drop unless there's a tornado. Snowball is there, raged up. Just get one.
Oh, even with that, yeah, the rage.
Sometimes one is all you need because the bats are doing work too. 861 on that tower. That tower is chunked.
I think this is the earlier KK version of the graveyard with the Ice Golem instead of the Knight or the Dark Prince. But he still took way too much damage early on from that balloon.
There's the poison coming
graveyard.
down. This is why sometimes it can be so hard to tell what deck someone's playing. Look at the amount of similar cards in here.
Yeah, but Greed, he does have the Lumberjack to take care of. So with the Barb, so right now before the double elixir time, not enough elixir for the graveyard.
Slow from that Ice Golem is going to be enough to allow that tower to pick that up. But look at the similar cards: Ice Golem, Snowball, Musketeer.
Yeah, but moment you see that Mega Minion, it's
it's not
sort
going
of
to be. It's not going to be balloon. Well, this balloon
and with the rage,
with the
defensive
snowball. That's it. That's the
he
tower.
Okay, he's going all in here.
But he has to. He has no choice. 1 minute left. He has to make this work. The graveyard comes down very late.
Ooh, locks onto the Mega Minion for one hit only. The slow from the Snowball does help.
The Musketeer getting work done at the back, but the bats are going to be able to clean it up. Is this enough to push Greed to go right?
Okay, 35 seconds.
Greed has a choice. Do I defend, and see if I can hold 2 cycles, or do I push?
Nice Golem left.
There's the graveyard. Is this going to be the trigger to get Greed to go? No, it's not.
Yeah, that Lumberjack can limit a lot of the skeleton damage. I think that's not enough, even with the last tick of poison.
But with the cycle coming back around, I think KK's going to have another poison
snowball.
ready.
Needs another Snowball, yes.
Okay, the Snowball's there.
Oh, there was a lot of elixir thrown away, though.
2, 2, 2, 9, and there's the Lumberjack. Expect the balloon to come in. All right, how much damage is this balloon going to get in? Snowball to slow it all down, and the cage catches it. Death damage, only this push.
It's not as bad. Greed.
I mean, Greed now has to put pressure on to force KK not to play the graveyard. If there's too much pressure coming from the front, he won't find a window.
Yeah, he has to really catch that.
He's going for
Musketeer
the
with the death damage. So, but yeah, the cage pull was ready for KK, and the Mega Minion actually agreed to. Oh, actually, just following that balloon can be dangerous if it happens again.
Bug has to come in to defend Bat. Avoid the poison for quite some time. And that's going to be helpful, but the skeletons are starting to stack up, so it's all down to the next push. Greed needs to make it work in triple elixir. He doesn't have many opportunities for these balloons. And that Goblin Cage, KK, I think,
with the pull,
just about pulling
it has a Snowball too, yes. So perfect timing, and there are lots of tools, even away from the death damage.
Graveyard Blade at the back.
And Pocket Ice Golem locks onto the Princess Tower. There's that Lumberjack, so not as bad, and there's no poison.
I think KK's got this. It's going to be real hard for Greed to push. He's got 30 seconds to get a very healthy.
KK's leaking elixirs. He's ready for another set of attack. Here's comes
But that was a raged up Lumberjack coming in. Snowball comes there. Another Snowball. Doesn't get the Mega Minion. I think that's it. I don't think Greed has enough time.
Yeah, that's it. 13 seconds. Ice Golem locked again. There's that poison from KK. The skeletons doing the damage. That's game, and Ponos, they're moving up to the next round.
Team timing are out. Ponos are in. It was looking very shaky at times for both these teams. It looked as though team timing were in control. Then it looked as though control was over in Ponos. And eventually, after losing the first game, KK closes it out, finishes on set 4.
That's right. King of the Hill was rough, but Tengat comes back big in triple draft. Then Yakitori 2-0 Sado, which was big for Ponos. then, of course, KK is your man. Set 4, it's over, team timing. It's the end of the season for them, but they had a great run this season.
Yeah, and there's a lot of positives to take if this team stays together in the future. Team Timing have beaten some of the best teams in the world. Some of the best teams, at least in East. So I can see them building from here. They beat Talon.
The Nova Esports 2-0, that was one of the biggest upset match. Yeah, Team Sado.
At the time, yeah. But KK just, he made it work. The graveyard was just too much for the balloon to handle.
Yeah, now Ponos, yeah, with the second crown win, yeah, graveyard, pocket Ice Golem. Yeah, really cool change there. Ice Golem a little cheaper, but still takes a lot of shots. Now, they move up to face TTG. Yeah. Another tough opponent. Well, that's... Every single match is going to be incredible.
Every single match is going to be tough now that Nova is gone. Now that Nova's gone, every match is tough. No. Seriously, though, it has been an incredible day so far. And Ponos taking it with KK just... I don't know why, but it pulls at my nostalgic 2018-2019 CRL Asia heartstrings, you know? It's like KK winning it and then Ponos winning a game. Actually thinking about it.
Well, like game with Ponos, they're combined now, so.
Ponos have this nasty habit, and you know this habit too, where they win in spring season.
Well, they usually go straight into the finals.
They not all the time.
They don't really lose. Oh, we didn't have double elimination.
We didn't have a double elimination, but Ponos always get to the final, and Ponos always win the spring season for us in Asia with Nova gone.
But there's TTG.
Is Ponos the springtime champions of basically our existence? 2 years in a row they've done it.
Every single year, maybe, but with the Chinese teams, like there's still WEDGM, there's still Kicks, TTG. Now, a lot of teams still left to go through. Yeah, this is the updated playoff bracket. That's right. We come back on a Saturday, May 16th.
5 versus Talon, TTG versus Ponos. And then the day after, so next Sunday, it's going to be WEDGM versus Kicks. And then, with just 1 day of preparation, we're going to have the winners in the losers bracket, if that makes sense. And then on May 23rd, it's going to be the loser of WEDGM and Kicks against the winner of that match. And next week's matches, as you can see, these are the confirmed matches so far. Fab versus Talon, TTG versus Ponos, and WEDGM versus Kicks.
Yeah, there will be another match on the 17th, just not confirmed who the winner is going to be from the match 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So every single match from now on.
I'm going to say Fav versus Ponos, all Japanese losers bracket final.
Really?
That's what I'm saying.
You think the winners from today, TTG is going to drop down and also Talon?
Yeah. I'm calling it.
Let's see.
Fav, Ponos. Ponos is going to win the whole thing. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining us for another week.
Great playoffs.
Yeah,
so far.
It's been incredible. Nova out. Team Timing out. Those are the first 2 teams who have gone. Join us next week to see which teams will also be eliminated in this playoff.
And who's going to move through into the losers final bracket and into the finals.
And who's going to go through on the winner's side next week. There's so many important games, so make sure you join us then. We'll see you next time.